Right. Should be good to go. Are we live? Hopefully we're live. Hang on a second. I've got so many things going on, it's a little bit ridiculous how many things. But yes, got the live weather, by the way. That is apparently live weather from Montreal. So, we will see. Waiting for the broadcast to start. Welcome Dan, welcome Vlatka, welcome Twisted, Mark, Kate, David Downs, Sammy, George, Clack, Neon, new member, Snow, and Clack. Welcome along, everyone. Good to see everyone in the house. See, I did something. I added a radar here, but it was really raining on the track earlier, so I want to see. In a couple of seconds, I'm going to see if it's actually raining on track right now, and how accurate our weather radar is. Oh, they've cut to something else here. What is it? Oh, they've cut to sprinting. What? But I would be surprised if it's not raining on track. Although it has been... Has it been 2 hours since I was here? Since we were all here? It's been 1.5 hours, so maybe 1.5 hours. But you look at that rain band. Is it going left? Is it going right? Is it sort of swirling around? And to be honest, it's just so close to the track. It's kind of difficult to say, isn't it? VNAT said, let's go the Max show. Good to see a Hamilton supporter showing some love for Max Verstappen there. I think everything's good on the stream side. So yeah, looks like that the weather is just maybe clear of the track at the moment, but lurking. But it was very wet earlier. It was basically, it was undrivable. That's why no one was driving. It was too much. Again, they're showing some sprinters. Not sure what's going on. Welcome, Peter. Welcome back. Let's watch a nice Q1. Yes, hopefully. And do some weather watching. By the way, the track is just to the right of Montreal. So where it says Montreal, just to the right of that is the track. Now, I'm having a look here at live pictures, and I think our radar might be accurate. I think the rain might be to what I now can see is sort of the north of the circuit, if this is right. Yeah, I don't believe it's raining right now on track, so I think our radar is actually accurate. That's pretty cool, isn't it? That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's not raining on track right now. Okay, so we actually have live radar. Is anyone in chat a weather person? Is that high pressure and low? Is that high pressure moving out the low pressure? Is that how it works? It's going to be interesting conditions because I need to see some pictures of the hairpin, because when they finished FP3, it was too wet to even think about going out on track. Frankly, this would have been aquaplaning. Doesn't matter if you're on the wet weather tyre. So has that changed? I'm not sure. Let me know, chat, if you see anything changing in the weather radar, by the way. If you see any movement. Oh! I just saw a movement westward of the rain. So, is it going westward or eastward? Let me know, chat. Keep an eagle eye on that weather. Max Verstappen was the fastest man, by the way, in FP3, as you can see on the leaderboard there. But let's just see if the town of Longueuil is going to come under rain, because if Longueuil gets rained on, then it's making its way to Montreal. So is the town of Longueuil going to hold out against the rain or not? You can see it's right on the periphery, isn't it? Oh, I think I saw another westward movement. I think that rain is... Keep an eye on Longueuil there, on the rain. Yes, qualifying. Well, not right now, but soon. Oh, I need to get a timer up. Damn. Hang on, let me get my timer. It's going to be a countdown. Hang on a second. You've reminded me that I've been a very bad streamer. Pushing my PC to the limit. I am getting a new PC actually, quite excited about that. Although it's an obscene amount of money these days. There we go. Ah, where do we put it now? We got way too much stuff. Why do we do it like a big watermark like this? Just like bonk. Actually, why don't we just bonk it there? Should we bonk it there? Chat, let me know what you think about that. Meanwhile, I will get the one ready for... Actually, we don't need one for quali. Quali's too complicated anyway. We're back. Why is Canada Times nonsensical? What do you mean Canada Times? Has Long Wheel come under attack yet? I don't think so. I think it's holding out. But what about Carignan? Was that under rain earlier? Look how close the big rain is. The big rain is from Montreal right now. By the way, have they fixed Carlos Sainz's car? I will let you know. Eric's getting ready for the Canadian Snooze Fest. Yeah. Make it a little bit smaller. Are you sure? I quite like it. I like it. It's bold. Hang on. It's bold, this. Whereas, unless I just get rid of me. Why don't I just move... I'll move myself out. Okay, maybe there. Maybe that's nice. This is such a chaotic stream, like, layout. I've never seen a stream with a layout. This is not professional. Hang on a second. Someone's revving their car like it is Formula 1. There we go, we're back. We are back. Yeah, keep an eye on that rain, everyone. That's going to be very interesting, because if the rain is coming towards the track, then you really want to get your lap times in early, because the track might be getting wetter pretty soon. Looks like there's a lot of rain swirling around. Marshall, we need G7 radar to be sure. Does G7 have VRR Virginia racetrack? It doesn't. It has road Atlanta these days. So, of the tracks they've added Road Atlanta, they've added Grand Valley, which is notionally an American track, although it's fake, it's not real. And they added Daytona at launch, so a lot of American stuff there. They're showing the love. They're showing the love, I'd say. I'm not sure the GT7 radar would be much help, but I think that rain has now engulfed Longueuil. If you have a look at the dot for Longueuil, I'm pretty sure that rain has gone westward. Would anyone disagree with that? Anyone in chat disagree? West, is it Wayne in a westward direction? Is that how you say it? So yeah, we got the timer to quali. There's a lot of activity inside the Ferrari garage. Obviously, Carlos Sainz's car. They need to rebuild the front and the rear of it. So good luck with that. Peter likes the size. Very nice. Tell you what, it's so hot. It's so hot. I need to have like a Formula 1 style cooling system, I think, for the streams. That is live weather, everyone. Live weather over Montreal. So I can confirm it is not raining right now on track. No rain right now on track, but rain very close by. And it was raining very heavily at the end of Q3. Extremely heavily. And we're just checking now whether we think the rain is coming any more to the west. I think if the rain hits like Brossard, then it's going to hit the track. No way it hits Brossard without hitting the track. It's 8:10 in the UK. Don't know what the local time is in Canada. It's 2:10 or something, maybe? 2:10 local in Montreal, in Quebec. Hudson, what's your thoughts on the new Forza Motorsport campaign car builder? I made a video on it. I think cautiously optimistic. Sounds like I explained in the video what I feel about it and the difference between GT games now and 20 years ago, and distractions and gameplay and career mode, so it's all in that video really. George, I'm back. My comment earlier was referring to the video that came on after the last stream ended. Monaco Alonso Ulstrat. Yes, the trailer. The trailer. By the way, chat, anyone here remember, while we just saw our stream, anyone remember we premiered into the Glickenhaus interview? That Glickenhaus interview has now got 20,000 views. Pretty damn crazy. Although I should have premiered into my Le Mans drivers interview, because that has got 200 views. It's the worst video on this channel for 3 years, I think, which is actually, I'm not even that mad. I'm actually quite impressed to do a video that's performed that poorly. So yes, no rain on the track right now, but I'm convinced that that rain is going westward over Longueuil. So would not be surprised to see some rain on the track at Montreal. George lighting the boast. Ah, classic. Top work from George, giving it the best shot, giving it the best chance. When we put a video out there, we'd like to give it the best chance it can to succeed, you know? Do everything we can, and then let the video sort of, you know, fend for itself, ultimately. Peter says, Snowline, any idea how late it is in Montreal? Is it later than 2:12? Hunter, still Forza Motorsport 4, and why do I need to get new Forza Motorsport? It's not the same as Forza Motorsport 4. It would never be the same again. Forza Motorsport 4 stands in the house. GT7 has the Olympic esports events that gives them 2 million credits. Yes, 8 laps, 2 million credits. Surely that's worth a video. I'm leaving views on the table there, frankly. Terrible YouTubing by myself. Sky just doing some sort of nonsense right now, gotta be honest. Nothing interesting going on the Sky front. Frankly. Spare you that one. We're much more interested in the weather, and I'm pretty sure, I feel like I'm speaking to myself here, but I'm pretty sure that rain is going west. Can anyone in chat confirm or deny? Do you think the rain is going west on that map or not? Why does my thing keep slowing down? A lot of buffering on the old feed. Let me know what you think, chat. Let me know what you think on the weather front. It's going to be super important for qualifying. Right, Marsha's weighed in. Marsha said it is going west. I checked another website. Marsha, do you have the prevailing winds? Do you have the prevailing winds? George, you really get them to talk openly, I think, because you're obviously a fan and enthusiastic. You listen to their answers and responded with relevant counter questions rather than just robotic. That's a shame. I tried my best to be robotic. That's the opposite of the feedback I was looking for. No, it's good. I'll be in Rome in a couple of weeks for Formula E, so we'll chat with John Eric Verne out there. We'll chat with Jack Aitken again. Obviously, he was in the Cadillac at Le Mans. Basically, all of the Formula E drivers were at Le Mans as well, by the way. So we'll speak with all of them. Kate is looking forward to seeing rain. It's going to be unpredictable. Maybe we'll live stream as well. We actually did a live stream from Formula E in Berlin, if anyone was there. Groundhogs are out again. Oh, maybe it's footage from yesterday. Obviously, that led to our Twitter world domination there. Some of the memes that we came out with were just absolutely world-class memes. Premier League memes. How slow or fast does rain move? Like, in my head, it would just sweep across that map, but that map's quite zoomed out, isn't it? Longueuil is definitely, like, under big rain now. Let us know what you think. If, by the way, if you're watching a stream and you're just sort of waiting for quality to start, just hit that like button, because every like actually brings qualifying forward by a minute. So you see that timer there, time to qualifying. Every time you like it, it just brings it forward a minute. That's how Formula 1 operate. We're actually plugged into FIA race control here. Can we have a better view of F1 Manager? Well, do people care about the radar? This is the thing. Hang on. Should we bin off the radar? Is that too small for the radar? I need your feedback, chat. This stream only works with feedback. Otherwise, I'm just going to be like moving. I'm going to be moving stuff around. Still no rain on the track. Why did Albon nearly crash in FP3? He didn't read the signs. Okay, fair enough, George. That one. Can we get some claps out for George for that one? Finally, George has actually delivered. Here we go. You got this. That one is actually decent. Respect. I can respect that one. Why did Albon nearly crash in FP3? He didn't read the signs. Radar top left of F1 man. Huh? What, like there? Or like, where do we put the radar? Where do we put the radar? I think we just put the radar, smash the radar up here. We're now just a radar stream. Look at this. Well, how about we actually do that until it starts? Is that better? That feels a bit cleaner. What do we think about that? Is that what you wanted? Is that the strat? No. It's too late, it's done now. I actually locked that one in, so we can't undo it. That's how we're rolling. But you want it full screen? Do you just want it like all radar like that? You know what? That is actually decent. That's actually decent, right? No one cares about F1 Manager, but the background sounds. I think... Isn't that what we want? I'm not being funny. Chat, let me know. People watching the stream, what do we think? We need some more weigh-ins on this. Mark, thinking the rain cover like two-dimensional chess pieces isn't a good mental model. Rain coverage bubbles up and undulates as if it's a drop of milk in a cup of tea. Mark, you are a weather person, aren't you? Weather person in the chat. Can you confirm? Can you confirm? Chat, please send something. Kate's just trying here, but it's a struggle. Well, I can say for sure that Longueuil is raining in Longueuil right now. And I said if it rains in Brossard, it's going to rain on track. That's my prediction. And the rain is not that far from Brossard, frankly. Although Mark's saying don't think of it like a chessboard. Chess pieces. What chess piece would rain be? Would it be like a bishop? People left. People just left. People just left because of the massive radar. The bigger I make the radar. I want to see a big jump in the radar. I want to see like a movement. I'm like, yes, that has moved. It's very... Oh, can you see my mouse? Can you see my mouse or not? It's very sort of blurry. Mark's a very amateur pilot. Okay, so Mark, you're someone that really should know your maps. So maybe we trust Mark. Mark, do you think it's going to rain then? That's quite a nice one. I like how in this one the hours are on the map and the minutes aren't on the map. It's quite a nice contrast. That's actually very contemporary. George, what did the fish say when he swam into a wall? I don't know. What did the fish say when he swam into a wall? Enlighten us. Enlighten us, George. 10 people left. Damn. See, that would be better if you said, what did the beaver say when he swam into a wall? I don't want to pick holes in your thing, but wouldn't that just be better with beaver? Black says, sorry Kate, but I don't understand the thing about weather, so looking at a map is okay for me. Maybe I'll figure it out. We're all trying to just look at this map and work out what it means for qualifying. Is it going to be wet or not? I mean, with that distance, surely that's within the bounds of anything can happen, right? Anything can happen with the rain in there. Again, I've got live views on the track. I don't believe it's raining on track right now. I need to get some views of the grandstands, but I don't believe it's raining on track. That is my belief. Alex, only jokes I know either too rude or off the back of the penguin bar. Give us a joke off the back of the penguin bar. Do you buy a penguin bar mainly for the joke and then the chocolate's a bonus, or is it the other way around? Marsh said it's going to rain 100%. Marsh is saying 100% guaranteed rain. Wow, that is... You're putting yourself out there, Marcio. Talking about guaranteed rain. But if that's what Marcio is saying... Where are you getting that intel from, Marcio? Oh, I think we saw another westward jump there. I think it's about to rain in Brossard. I think the people in Brossard have got the hands out. I think Christian Horner's out somewhere on the streets of Brossard just trying to feel if the rain is there. And do you know what they say? They say if it rains in Brossard, it's going to rain on Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. What do you call a happy penguin? What do you call a happy penguin? Pengrin. Ah, okay, I'll give you that one as well. I'll give you that one. Okay, these are passing the bar. They're passing the bar. Can we do an absolute banger? Why did the beach smell? I don't know. Why did the beach smell? Why did the beach smell? Why did the beach smell? I'm not sure I'm going to like this one. Am I going to like this one? Because the seaweed. It's like... I reckon even the people that make the penguin bars, they'd be like, sorry, that doesn't quite cut the mustard. I mean... Is that your best joke? George, what's your absolute best? George, you did a good one earlier. You did the what was your one earlier? Yeah, why did Albon nearly crash in AP3? Didn't read the signs. That was decent. That was better. That was more F1 as well, I think. Dimitri says, how do you call a rat playing basketball? I don't know. How do you call a rat playing basketball? Hang on, we saw all the jokes coming in now. What did the sea say to the beach? Something about it's nice to see you or something, I don't know. Kevin Durant. I see what you've done there. I see what you've done there. I'm not sure it quite works. Chat, come on. What do we think about Dimitrian's one there? How do you call a rat playing basketball? Kevin Durant. I mean, I'm not sure what Kevin Durant thinks about that one. Nothing, it just waved. Okay, I like that. I like that. There's a bit of an angle there. So I think that's your second best one after the Carlos Sainz one. By the way, still not raining on track, but it's about to rain in Brossard, I think. George doesn't get it. Marsh says Durant is more known as a snake, though. Wow. Dearie me. It's firing up, isn't it? It's getting intense over there. Hang on. We don't need that stuff. What about that, chat, for the moment? What about that? We got the stats. Why do we make that a bit... Ooh. That's quite nice, isn't it? Is that quite nice? Any more jokes in the chat, by the way, while we're waiting? I mean, we're just waiting, frankly. What might happen is the rain might hit, and then everything might hit the fan, and they might just red flag everything. We'll see. Chat, do we like the new layout? We found the new layout? I can try and do this. I can try and do this. Oh no, that's not good. I can do that and like scrunch it a little bit. What about that? Is that nice? George says, what did Lewis say when asked how often he thinks about his new girlfriend? What did Lewis say? I don't know. What did Lewis say? Is this going to be a good one? Is it going to be good? What did Lewis say? Whenever, wherever. That is an unconfirmed rumour. That isn't sure. Are you confirming that? Is that now officially confirmed? I think we need the time. Oh, I don't know. There's so much going on the screen, man. We got the map. Maybe we move the map.
How's the balance?
Hang on, hang on, hang on. Hang on. Let me take this time to... Firstly, we don't need this space on the outside there. Secondly, we can probably condense it a little bit like that, right? Without it looking rubbish. This is tough, you know? That's not bad on the fly. To be fair, on the fly, that's a pretty good joke. If that one's off the cuff, then I rate that one. Your F1 jokes are much better than your traditional jokes. Chat, how do we do this, like, with the map as well? How do we, like, have the map and the radar? Can we superimpose? That'd be sick, wouldn't it? Oh, do we do this? Hang on a second. Hang on. Hang on. Then we've got... Yeah, but I can move F1 Manager over, to be honest. What is between the ground and the sky? I don't know. What is between the ground and the sky? What's this? Oh shoot, I shouldn't move that at all, should I? Okay. So if we put that there... And then... Oh, look at this, chat. Is that too small? Hang on. Hang on. Hang on, chat. Oh, I can just go down a little bit. It's cool. I can just go like that. Because this actually has more to give, doesn't it? Oh. Whoa. Okay. Ah, no, hang on, this is still... I don't think it's raining right now, but it's very damp. Okay. What do we think about that? Give me your honest thoughts. Give me your honest thoughts. I want to hear feedback. Everyone who can understand what I'm saying, I want to hear your feedback. Because you get it full screen, I don't have it full screen. So what do we think? By the way, it's about to rain in Brossard, I think. What did I get for dinner? I had fish. Vlatka says too small. Welcome Aurora and Chan. Vlatka says too small. What's between ground and sky? And okay, fair play. Fair play. Fair play. I rate that one. I rate that one. What's the only word spelled wrong in the dictionary? Is it too small? You joking me? What's too small? Is it these standings are too small? Okay, hang on. I think. It's fine on PC. Is Mobile Crew happy with that? Where do we put our little subscribe box thing? For our members and our subscribers and our donators. Chat, where do we put this? I think it has to go up here, but then where do we put our copyright warning? Because that's very important, and we should not compromise that. Radar too small. I can't get the radar any big. Olivier saying on tablet the standings are fine too. Good to see you, Olivier. No, I really think that warning has to be there because that safeguards the whole stream. So where is this? What is this one? Okay. What's this called? Stream. Okay. Make the sub window the same size as a webcam. What do you mean? Or we could put it here in the middle. It'd be small, but... Oh. Ah. Ah. Chat. Chat, talk to me now. Talk to me about that. Talk to me about that, chat. Can we just get rid of the game? Screw the game. No, I think the game is quite important. Because the game is, this is engagement. The game's always fun to look at and just you see Canada. I think I have to veto any deletion of the game. Naughty says sure. It's raining. Is it raining on track now? Sky or an advert, so I can't see. Charge. Dimitri says great. Okay, are we good then? Are we good on the stream front? Nice, and charging as well. We've had nothing but rain for a week here. Well, the radar says it's not quite raining on the track yet, but it's about to.
Yellow ahead.
Copy, copy.
I'm pretty happy with our setup. I think we just improved it. I think we'd left gains on the table there previously. Anyone watch the Ferrari race? What's the Ferrari race? Can you zoom in on the radar? I actually... Yeah, I can. Hang on. But then you can't really... Is that better though? Is that better? Can you appreciate whether there's rain or not? Flax is actually a great combo. Okay, I think honestly, this is what it's all about. We're just improving the stream like infrastructure. We've got the timer. Looks good. Yes. You can see it's Montreal. You've got the track map. You've got the standings. You've got F1 Manager. What colour is rain? Rain is the one that looks like rain. That's what they decided to go for on their system. Silent Racer, evening all. Hope you're well. Love the content as always. Thank you so much, Silent Racer. Mitchell Latest Grayson, what has George done? Why wasn't the snooker player with the big glasses not welcome at McLaren? Why wasn't the snooker player with big glasses not welcome back? So who was that snooker player? That snooker player was... Oh, man. With the massive glasses. Remind me of the name. Wrong Dennis. Okay, yeah. Wrong Dennis. Okay, that's fair. To be fair, George is quite good. You should share these ones in our Discord. Share them in our Discord, and I'll post them as quizzes. Actually, do they work as quizzes? They don't work as a quiz, do they? Dennis, yeah, damn. That one's not bad. That's not bad. Oh, you're not on Discord. Okay, in that case, you have to post it. You have to write a letter and do it through free post. Trofeo. I didn't see that. I haven't seen that Ferrari race. Right, we are under 20 minutes to go, by the way, to the start of qualifying. Got everything we need right here. You can see the stream is struggling, right? Look at the little bar going across with the members. You know what? Now I'm worried that the stream is too good and we're going to get taken down. It's like the stream now just looks too good. Do you know what I mean? We've actually achieved a level that's too... Sometimes you can be too good. Because if this was... If our stream setup was a bit crap, no one would be worried about it, but we might actually be a threat to Formula 1. Welcome, MapCheck7. Yes, we've got the emojis. You have to post it via snail mail. It's going to be tedious, them's the facts. I see what you did there. I like it. I approve. I approve. I feel like the standard has got higher. The standard has got higher. By the way, that rain is now basically on the Gilles Villeneuve circuit, isn't it? So with 18 minutes to go, I reckon it's going to be wet. Very wet. Can we make it rain in F1 Manager? We'll have to pretend it's raining. You know what? Oh, I don't know. Should I write that it's F1 Manager? I would hate to be taken down again and have to sue them. If they take us down, I'm just going to stream on Kick. Wait, is the game actually the Gilles Villeneuve circuit? That is actually the Gilles Villeneuve circuit, yes, indeed. Silent Racer, who are we rooting for pole? Obviously Alonso Norris. If it's wet, honestly, I think it's anyone's. But having said that, Max Verstappen was so good. So good. He was absolutely supreme in FP. I saw the Marcos Le Mans racing at Zandvoort, one of my favourite. The sound when it passing is one of the best V8s for sure. Very nice at Zandvoort. Great circuit. We will be there later in the year in the F1 calendar. 17 minutes to go, and I have to say I just saw a video of the track and I don't believe it's raining on the track just yet. So we might still be waiting for that rain. But the weather radar, we can confirm it definitely has been moving in a westward direction. So what this means for the start, are they going to be tempted to red flag it or not start it or delay it? Are we going to run out of light? Purgatory, can we actually watch qualifying? You can join us for a qualifying watch along, but this is what we do. This is what we do. We just kind of well, anything can happen on the stream. Anything can happen. Got that new barrier at turn 1, which I think we saw Lewis Hamilton go deep and have to go around it. So I'm a fan of it. Will they affix Carlos Sainz's car? Obviously Carlos Sainz will hope so. How long is quali? Quali is an hour normally, but they will, if it rains, I think they will stretch it out. Because I think if they red flag in quali, I think it pauses the clock. But I might be wrong. If they red flag in FP, it does not pause the clock. And if they red flag in a race, it doesn't pause the clock, but it does obviously stop the laps. So how it works in qualifying, I can't remember. Maybe someone in chat can remind us. What do we do? You'll see. It's going to be absolute carnage. It's going to be chaos in here. You're welcome to take any of my jokes and claim I have no interest in copywriting yet. Okay, we'll try a few. And see if they get any traction. Are they going to be world-class strokes? It was racing with 2 Lambers at the front. DeMarcos was 1 second faster per lap until an undercut and finished second. Very nice. Marsh says they pause it. Okay, so red flag and quali, they will pause it until they end up running against their other clock that they have running, which is the maximum amount of time that qualify can take, basically. Surely by now it's raining on track. Sky is showing us some VT thing with Logan Sargent, which I'm not that interested in, but surely it's raining on track. Surely. No, presenter still out on track and still no rain where I can see. Have we got the right island? Chat, have we got the right island in Montreal? Can we confirm? Can we confirm or deny that? Less than 15 minutes to go. Still no rain. Danica Patrick with Sky. I think she is someone that doesn't think the Earth is round. Is that what I saw on Twitter this week? So maybe she's got some inside info on the planet. Hot off the press. I would quite like to see whether they have fixed Carlos Sainz's car, to be honest. That would be interesting to see if they're all prepped and ready to go. Atmosphere said the track is still wet. Honestly, if you're watching Sky, you'd have no idea because all they're doing is showing adverts, frankly. But the track, yes, will still be wet from what I saw at the ends. Mark says the roundness is not what's contested. What is contested? What is being contested? Science car will have regular car bump here. They're going to put a forward car bump from the Ferrari there. 13 minutes to go. I would quite like to see some shots of the weather, of the track, of the garages, but we have to look at what's the name? Natalie Pinkham. Not sure why. No, thank you. The earthness. Want to see the grandstands as well, if we can see people putting umbrellas up. Any shamans yet? No shamans. Don't think we've seen any shamans. Might have some shamans in the chat. 90 people watching. The odds are with 90 people watching, there is going to be at least 2 shamans. So hang on, does Danica Patrick think that the Earth is a disc? Oh, hand shamans in the pits. No, I can't see anything. They're just showing us like Sky pundits in the pit lane. It's just not what I want to see. But we care a bit more about the racing here, I think. Yeah, Chris, let us know if it's raining where you are. I mean, our weather radar says it should be raining on track. But, oh, someone put an umbrella up in the background. Hang on, hang on. It might have just started to rain, actually. Now we're inside a garage. Hang on. Is it raining? Someone's got an umbrella up in the background. Right, we're going to go away from the presenters. That's great. Thank you very much. Karun Chandok is under an umbrella. Oh, is it raining or not? Or is it just wet? If it's not raining, obviously the track will get drier. So you want to be the last cars out. If it is raining, the track's going to get wetter. So it's the opposite. Atmospheric, maybe they drive the line dry towards Q2. The track still looks wet. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Well, I'm going to restart the F1 manager practice, by the way. So, any karting videos coming up, Kireth? I've got karting videos ready to publish, just I'm not sure I can risk it on the views front. Right, there are more umbrellas now in the background. I see umbrellas up. They're still saying Karun Chandok on the sky pad thing, but I think it's now raining. So if I was live streaming, I'd be running around like, is it raining? Is it raining? Look at the puddles. That's what we want to see. Instead, they're showing us some lockup Verstappen had in practice. Like, okay, great, fantastic. Kind of irrelevant. Is it raining now? It's not raining where Chris P is. Okay, so Chris P has confirmed no rain where he is. What that means for Montreal, I do not quite know. Again, Sky is showing us some nonsense. Let's see if it's raining or not. What are the conditions going to be like for quali? We know Verstappen has a quick car. It's the big question in the weather, isn't it? And we can see what the radar's saying. I'm just trying to see people in the background of this shot. Like, there's a tiny corner of background, trying to see if they're walking past with umbrellas or not. Yeah, someone is. Someone going to the Aston Martin garage has got an umbrella out. Now we're with Ted Kravitz. He's in the pit lane. He doesn't have an umbrella, but he wouldn't anyway. Trying to see the grandstands in the background. Everyone's got ponchos out. The Ferrari car is here. Carlos Sainz's car. They're still working on it, but it looks like it's pretty much done, to be honest. Looks like it's pretty much done. Why was Max high during free practice? I don't know. Why was Max? Because Red Bull gave him wings? I don't know. Welcome, Jada Jesus. That's not G7, that's F1 Manager in the background. He smoked his tyres. That one, I'm not sure. Mark likes it. Chat, let us know if you like that, if you rate that one. I'm not convinced. Not massively convinced. Still, I don't think it's really raining. Maybe it's just spitting it at the moment. Maybe this is light rain. Maybe this is light rain, everyone. Could be light rain. F-grade choke. Jay says very creative. But, well, Chris, if you're saying it's F-grade, I think you've got to come up with a better one. Any updates on Science? Science, I believe, his car is done. We just saw Leclerc getting in the car. So I think Science is, yeah, I think his car's going to be done. But obviously he's going to go out for Q1, not really warmed up, and have to... Warmed up's not the right word, but they might have to just do some calibration and whatnot and just check everything's working correctly. No, I was just joined at the start. I didn't know. You can see there it says 7 minutes qualifying, so when that goes down to 0, qualifying will start. Hamilton GOAT, Ricardo 44 says. GOAT confirmed. GOAT absolutely confirmed. Atmospherics also on Assetto Corsa on PS5. Practice track solo, very nice. Prince, interesting, gives someone else a chance to get into Q2. Sign at Inters for Q1, we're thinking. I don't know. It's a very good point. Now, look, what happened in FP3 was that it was Inters most of the way. It started wet, went to Inters. Then with about 4 minutes to go, it really started raining. And basically everyone had to come in off Inters. It was just too wet. I'd be surprised now if anyone's going to... I just don't know, though, because we saw there was a crossover at the beginning. So... It's difficult to say. Atmospheric saying no rain at the moment. If it doesn't rain, it will certainly become intermediate. I just wonder if there's a chance that you want to start on the wets. I don't think it's likely, but I just don't know. The hairpin was very, very, very wet. Mark says wet tyre F1 racing is rarely any fun. Let's hope it's an exception today. How about that? More adverts for F1 Manager. There will be a giveaway after this stream where someone's going to win a code for F1 Manager on PC. I'm giving away a code. It's pretty awesome. Although, I think the game would have loved to be able to swap teams, but anyway. Prince Lev says, last time I drove to Montreal was April and had an ice storm. Okay. Science says, could be best quali of the year, this one. It could be indeed. It could be a great qualifying session with these mixed conditions. I have to say, all the qualies we've covered, like Monaco, Barcelona, this one. What? Okay, just Barcelona and Monaco. They were quite good qualifying with a lot of drama. It did even rain in Barcelona. So we'll see if this one's going to be on that level. Atmospheric saying a lot of wind. Yeah, could see some gusts of wind. Monaco was all time. Monaco, that Q3, man, what a Q3. I even clipped it and made a video of it on. There's a video on the channel, like the best Monaco qualifying ever. Are we going to get one of those here? We will see. We will see. Thanks for the sub, Prince Lev. By the way, if you're watching and you're not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. Don't wait. Just hit it now. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you've got a notification bell. If you like hanging out here, your subscriptions make this possible. Okay, 4 minutes to go. I'm actually going to restart the F1 manager. So we'll get it going. We'll get it going exactly when Q1 is going to start. What does Watchalong mean? Watchalong means we hang out here and we follow the qualifying together. Follow all the stories, the drama, who's looking good, who's not looking good, who do we think is going to do well, the dramatic moments, the spins, the drivers getting angry at each other, Christian Horner doing his shaman stuff, all of that. David saying, can Leclerc, Russell, Hamilton be in the podium? Honestly, anything can happen here. Right, another shot of the track. It looks way more cloudy now than in previous shots. It looks like it's encircled by rain. I think it's going to rain. The question is just how badly. Welcome back, Christopher. I'd be amazed if it doesn't rain in the session, to be honest. Frankly, I'd just be amazed. Only 3 minutes to go. You don't want the channel to get too big, bro. Sounds like a nice problem to have, Taylor, doesn't it? Nice problem to have. People said that when I had like 500 subscribers. Like, oh, you don't want to have like 2,000. That'd be too much. And when I got 2,000, like, you don't want to have 5,000 subscribers. It'll just be too much. It'll be too stressful. You don't have 10,000 subscribers. It'll just... channel won't be the same. Is it raining? The helicopter's up there. Verstappen in lap 1 will make contact with Alonso, or we will see. Weather conditions are being shown as rain, by the way. So F1 are showing it as rain. Why is Tsunoda known as a brown paper bag? Something about having a drink in it. Because he's a drink in a car or something, I don't know. We're broadcasting from the United Kingdom. Mark says they should make a really big umbrella that covers the entire track. That's a really good idea. He's rubbish in the rain. Hang on, we can improve that one. Why is Snowden known as a bin liner? He's rubbish. But it's something about the rain.
Good session.
Your question doesn't go to rain, right? What's something about rubbish in rain specifically? Princess, we have big umbrellas. They're called ceilings. Yes, indoor track. When are F1 going to do an indoor track? I am actually going to be in an indoor race later this year. I'm going to be at Formula E in London, which is basically an indoor race. Right, let's get this ready then, everyone. Let's get this ready. I wish there was a quick way of... To be fair, it's quite quick, isn't it, to do this? A few buttons there. Paper bag. Oh, it's because the paper bag's not good in the rain. Okay, now I was a level behind. I didn't actually get it. Kudos. Kudos. We are very close, by the way.
Yeah, radio check McLaren here. Green light, green light.
All the drivers are in the cars, ready to go. We'll see who's going to wait at the end of the pit lane. We'll get rid of the ending time to qualifying thing. And we have made it, everyone. We've made it to qualifying. Very, very, very nice. I'm going to let you know everything that's going on. Have you ever tried to get your shopping in a brown paper bag? I've never had shopping in a brown paper bag. It went plastic bags and then bags for life in the UK. That was it. And we'll keep an eye on the weather as well, everyone. Welcome back, Andrew Moss in the house. The Moss Man. The Mossmeister General. Whoopty says, hello from Montreal. Are you actually on... Are you trackside? Can you give us a weather update? Zero says, I think it might be an absolute downpour, break out the speedboats. We will see. We will see. What tyres are people on, please? Well, I can tell you that everyone is on intermediate tyres that I can see. And we are getting stacked up at the front of the pit lane. It is, I believe, Alex Albon leading us out. Session has not quite started yet on my feed. Ah, there you go. You can see the on the live timer, you got it really, really up to date. So intermediate tyres is the tyre of choice. Let's see what the lap times are going to be. 123s we managed to have in FP3 from Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc, the only two drivers I believe to get a 123. So are we going to get those sort of times here? Has the track got drier? Has it got wetter? And is there going to be a possibility that we will see any dry tyres in this qualifying session? Green light, let's have it. Yes, congratulations everyone, we've made it to qualifying. Here we are. Peter's back as well, very nice. Seems like the rain won't hit us, unlike Ericsson. See you, Chris P. Can Ferrari get pole? We will see. We will see. Taylor saying there won't be any rain. Well, the map says rain. The map says it's raining, but is it just basically drizzling? Martin, greetings. Let us know where in the world you're watching from. We're basically doing a roll call. So let us know where in the world. Lou says, are they all on Intus? Guan Yu Zhou is very, very, very slow here out on track. Issue for Guan Yu Zhou. Big issue. He's crawling along. He's crawling along on track. What is going on with Guan Yu Zhou? Is it nations or nation? Guan Yu Zhou's got a big issue. Canada in the house. Southern California. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Guan Yu Zhou is rolling down the track. He's had an issue as he's come out of the pit, so he's very early on in the lap. Is this going to be an early red flag? Surely he can't roll that car all the way around unless he's only on battery power. As we see, I think Fernando Alonso, maybe some drivers, will want to set a lap. They'll want to get a lap in here because that might really count. I don't know. Afghanistan represented, Snowline from Canada still in the Rockies, Croatia from Vlatka, Silent Race from England, Ianis from Greece. Welcome along everyone. A lot of familiar faces, we love to see it. Guan Yu Zhou is not a happy bunny. Everyone is on the intermediate tyres, I can confirm. Charles Leclerc, Carlos Sainz and Pierre Gasly, the only drivers on my screen who were not out, although you can see that I think it's only Gasly for some reason hasn't gone out. Everyone else has gone out. Fernando Alonso is going to try and set a lap here, but where on earth is Guan Yu Zhou on track? You can see Alonso. What kind of lap time are we going to be seeing? There's a yellow flag in Sector 2. That might be for Guan Yu Zhou. There we go. So 1:27.7. Logan Sargent, Alex Albon go even faster. Are we going to... Guan Yu Zhou has parked his car, by the way. He's parked his car. They are going to have to recover that, surely, under... Well, they can't put... There's no point in putting a safety car out in qualifying, so they'll have to red flag it. I'll be very surprised if we don't see a red flag here to recover Guan Yu Zhou's stricken Alfa Romeo, and that is an absolute disaster for Alfa. Guan Yu Zhou hasn't been that impressive compared to Valtteri Bottas in qualifying, let's be honest. Welcome Olivia from Netherlands, Zero from Long Island, Cobusnitz from England as well. Red flag is out. Get your red flag emojis out. What happened here? Guan Yu Zhou came out of the pits and basically, I don't think he could get past first gear from looking at it. I think it might be a gearbox issue. He's going along in first and he does go up second. There's some sort of maybe gearbox or transition. Just get something red out there to signify the red flag, everyone. There we go. Welcome, George. Your Kenyan fans love you. Big up, Kenya. What's the rate? Who's the fastest racing driver in Kenya? Leclerc can do an Alonso 2012. We are in red flag conditions, everyone. So, I can confirm that the timer has stopped. However, I want to make a really important point here, okay? This is about opportunism, right? If there is a sudden downpour now, and the track... Oh, Guan Yu Zhou's off again. Guan Yu Zhou's managed to get going. He's restarted the car and he's going. So he's caused a red flag. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean he can just go back to the pits and carry on? Presumably so. In fact, both Alfa Romeos are together. I don't know what's going on here, but both Alfa Romeos are driving along together. It's like Valtteri Bottas towing Guan Yu Zhou with a tow rope or something. Onto the wets now. Well, I want to say, if there is a big downpour, Logan Sargent would and Alex Albon would get through to Q2 because the track would be slower. So if you're Williams, 100% in these conditions, we saw Alex Albon first queuing in the pit lane because in exactly this sort of circumstance, you just may as well take those odds. You may as well take those odds, get through to Q2, a little bit more exposure for your sponsors. Rolex, hashtag don't crack under pressure. Is it planned? Oscar Piastri had a huge lock up into turn 1, by the way. Probably starting his flying lap, had to go all over turn 1, over the grass. So I don't think he actually would have set a lap in the end. Look at all the red flags coming out. You'd love to see it. How long did that take for another red flag? Yeah, honestly, when we do these streams, it's just like red flag after red flag, isn't it? Nick De Vries came in very narrow into turn 1. He locked up as well. My word, what was that entry? Oh, and he rejoined, almost took out Williams. Deary me. Nick De Vries goes straight on. And it was pretty close to hitting a Williams. Another flag crash. It's just Guan Yu Zhou. The red flag should be over now because Guan Yu Zhou is off. It's the red flag is not over. And with the rain swirling around, there'll be some teams very nervous about this. Because if the track gets wetter now, the teams that did not... Only 3 drivers managed to set a lap time. Logan Sargent, Alex Albon, Valtteri Bottas, and Fernando Alonso, I think, basically had to abort, didn't he? They're bringing Max Verstappen back into the pit box. Yeah, only 3 drivers set a time. Logan Sargent, Alex Albon, and Valtteri Bottas. So was that a deliberate ploy by Alfa Romeo to get Bottas through? Oh, it's been a bad season for racecraft. Cameroon saying Norris for a podium position in this weather. We will see. Guan Yu Zhou is now returning back to the pits, I think. So not sure what the issue was in that car. Maybe some sort of reliability issue. Well, it is an Alfa Romeo, so it doesn't really surprise me that much. Welcome whoop-de-doo to the community. Good to have you. FIA to have a full-blown debate for can it restart again. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, this should be green flag already. We should be under green flag conditions right now. Absolutely no need to wait here. Let's get going. The people have paid good money to watch some racing. George, right, I repeat, why did Latifi's girlfriend love him so much? Is it something to do with he kept crashing or something? Let us know. In fact, we are now green. I think. Well, there's cars going to the pit lane. It's saying race will Q1 resume in 4:10 local time. That's 2 minutes to go. And now we have both Red Bulls queued up at the front of the pits for 2 minutes. They're going to be queued for 2 minutes. And then we've got 2 Williams behind, I believe. And now the Ferraris. We're going to see everyone out there queuing. Because as we saw, if there's another issue, you want to make sure you got a lap time set. You want to get your lap time done as soon as possible. So it's pretty extraordinary scenes. It's going to be over 2 minutes before we're going to go green flag here, and the Red Bulls are already out of the pits, queuing at the front of the pit lane. Wow. Normally Red Bull don't really show their hand like that, but here they're obviously concerned. He always oh dear. Prince says, as an American, I'm suddenly feeling patriotic as hell. Let's see what's going on the weather radar. It looks kind of a mixed bag. There's sort of rain in the area. Hard for me to see. There's a massive rain band that's coming in at some point. Still 1.5 minutes to go on my screen until we're going to get going, and the Red Bulls are still there. I think Mercedes will wait if they had problem with temps. Great point. I was going to make it, but you've made it before me. We saw the Mercedes really struggle for grip in wet free practice. I don't think they have the luxury of being sitting out there at the front of pit lane, letting those tyres get cold off the tyre warmers. So I think Mercedes have to keep those tyres on the tyre warmers. So Mercedes' sort of inability to get the tyres up to temperature in wet conditions is actually really costing them valuable track position here. Very controversial, isn't it? Fernando Alonso is also still in his pit box. Although as I speak, they're gonna send him out with about 40 seconds to go. And keep an eye on the standings because we should be going green very, very soon. It's 9:10 local time for me here. So that means 4:10 in Canada. And are we going to see some of the sectors moving? Ferrari fan, Prince Lev, not a great season. And I guess these days they can turn F1 engines off and restart them. I'm not sure the engines are off or not, actually. I don't actually know whether they do. Atmospheric saying rain is coming. Yeah, keep an eye on the weather radar we've got there. And you can see, right, cars out on track going through the sectors. So are we going to see Max Verstappen, Sergio Perez set a time nice and early, and the Williams again sneak in some track position? I mean, that for me is insanely early to go out. Insanely early to go out. Green now. Green, green, green. Yes, indeed. And you can see Logan Sargent and Alex Albon currently top of the leaderboard, but we have the drivers coming round to set their lap times. That is not going to last very long. And I don't see a lot of umbrellas up currently in the grandstand. So for me, I think there is no more rain coming down on the track. So presumably the track is just going to get faster and faster. Remember, we saw 1 minute 23 done by both. Granny Joe asking, are you sure the problem is fixed? And Alpha saying, looks okay from our side. Remember, Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc setting 1 minute 23s in free practice 3 before we had the red flag there for Esteban Ocon's car, I believe. So are we going to get down near that level? We know from FP3 that it's not a crossover period, at least at 123. I think you need to be going sub 1 minute 20 before you even start thinking about crossover on soft tyres. Cameroon's calling it another red flag now. Let's see. Logan Sargent saying raining turn 2. Now, is Logan Sargent just one sweaty boy, or is it raining turn 2? Because the Alphas are still coming out for their outlap. Oscar Piastri hasn't set a time. Lance Stroll's in the terrible position. And Lewis Hamilton and George Russell, I believe, are still in the pits. I believe they are still in the pits. George Russell... No, George Russell is now out, you can see. Have a look at... Yeah, so Hamilton and Russell out. I think that's an outlap. But if it's raining now, they're in real danger of getting caught out. Real danger. Let's see what the lap times are going to be. As the Red Bulls are now setting their doing their flying laps. Lewis saying rain according to the radar. Yes. Logan Sargent reports it. Remember, we got Christian Horner doing a Shaman. Verstappen goes purple in sector 1, as you might expect. 1 second up on Logan Sargent. Keep an eye on the standings here for Max Verstappen. Where is he? It's going to be an absolutely gangbusters lap, I'm sure. Is it going to be a 24? Yes, it is. Just coming in there with a 1 minute 24 for Max Verstappen. So only a second slower than he managed in FP3. I think we're going to see a lot of on-track action here in this qualifying session, because you just can't risk it. It's not going to be a dry one where you do your lap, you come in. It might be one where you overfuel a little bit, get a little bit more traction, and you just keep your cars out on track. That might be the strategy, to be honest. David saying, is it raining right now? It's hard to see on the feed, but the report has been that it has been raining in turn 2, so we will see. It's definitely damp. Is the track getting faster or slower? I don't know. I'm going to guess it's going to be getting faster right now. You can see Magnussen 124.5, Albon in the 124s. Okay, Lando Norris goes at 124. So 124s at the moment seems to be that baseline pace. Keep an eye on the Mercedes here. What are Mercedes going to do? Got Lewis Hamilton and George Russell going round. We'll keep a keen eye on them, for example. Perez 126. Yes, look at that. 3 seconds slower for Sergio Perez than Fernando Alonso. Whoa, 122.8 for Verstappen. Hang on. Okay, yes, the track is getting drier. We're now quicker than FP3 conditions. Are we going to start to see people going slower than 1 minute 20? Looks like Fernando Alonso might be trying to cool the tyres already. We might be having a dry line forming here very quickly. What are we going to see? Verstappen 122.8, Alonso 123.5. I think we're going to see cars just circulating. I say fill her up and just go around and around and around if that works for the tyres, because this track is getting faster and you basically want to be the last car that goes through the start-finish line before it ticks down to 0. Verstappen is the moisture centre. Lewis saying Max is flying on those inters. Let us know, by the way, if you're new to the stream. If you're wondering what's going on, let us know if you're new to F1 as well, or who you're supporting. Sergio Perez went up there briefly. He's now dropped down to P6. What on earth is the cutoff going to be here? It's almost impossible to say. 10 minutes to go in Q1, by the way. But, oh, big lockup for Perez. Had to cut the chicane. Surely that's not going to be a valid lap. Whichever lap that was. And a Ferrari also cutting the chicane. That was Charles Leclerc. So people are really pushing it. This is the third chicane, the last chicane at Canada before the last corner, basically. Oh, and just remembering to go through that gate. Charles Leclerc having a really bad time there. Lando Norris taking some massive curbs as well. Yeah, Norris getting airborne. So, Leclerc in P3. Where's Carlos Sainz, the man who did crash in FP3? Wow, Lando really going over those curbs. It's going to be... Are we going to see some... Hamilton up into P4. Are we going to see some big scalps here? Lewis Hamilton going off the track as well.
That's a VSC. Copy.
Deary me. Lewis Hamilton going in.
We've just had a crash on the track.
Don't worry, that's from F1 Manager. Lewis off. Yeah, he's just taking a shortcut there. A lot of people are really trying to brake as late as possible for these chicanes, and sometimes they're trying to turn in, and the car just isn't turning, so they're just aborting the turn basically and going straight through the chicane, over the grass, over the paint, over the curbs, whatever it is, because they cannot make the corner fundamentally. So, yeah, a lot of drivers really struggling. Also, always the risk of red flags. 8 minutes to go in this session. As it stands, we would lose... Oh, Perez is very close to going out. We would lose Bottas. We would lose Guan Yu Zhou. We would lose Nick De Vries as well. The line is drying quick. I completely agree. Verstappen with a 121.9. At one point, does someone think I'm going to go on soft tyres? Very, very, very difficult to call. You could almost say, if you're someone like Logan Sargent, maybe you're the person that doesn't really have too much to lose, but you might need to go out and get the tyres up to temperature for a couple of laps. Not just one out lap, but 2 out laps, in the belief that it's going to be dry enough right at the end of Q3. That would be some 8D chess. Mark, this is the grass screener. Yeah, I know. Hamilton is going around here. You can see that's, again, he's in P4. You just got to keep. It's going to be a relentless qualifying session. Wow. Hamilton almost loses it coming out of the chicane there. So, not the chicane, the hairpin at the bottom of the circuit. The last big corner before you go around the entry line and then try and navigate the Wall of Champions before you hit the start-finish. Charles Leclerc up to PT, very nice. ACPW noting that Russell is struggling, very good spot. Russell down there in 18th place. Not good news for George Russell at all. Not good news. Norris in third, as predicted. Cameron says, March says Ferrari looking trouble here. I wouldn't say Ferrari looking trouble. I'd say George Russell specifically looks trouble. Oscar Piastri needs to pull out a lap as well. And Lance Stroll is slipping dangerously close to the cutoff where you would not make it through into Q2. Welcome, Phantom. Good to see you. There are 6 minutes to go, roughly, and the track is getting drier and drier. Who is safe? Who is not safe? Is it just going to get faster every lap? There is still a lot of standing water on the curbs and around the curbs. All it takes is someone to go over those, put a load of water on the track. As for actually Bottas drives slowly, but I think he's getting out of the way for, I think that was the McLaren on a flying lap. George Russell, where is he? Goes up to P4 and pulls that lap out of the bag. He is safe for the moment. That's pulling Lance Stroll down there. It's putting Sergio Perez again down there as well. Let me just bear with me. Bear with me. Alonso P2. Verstappen being asked how are conditions, thoughts on a dry tyre. Max saying not for a dry tyre now, but with 5 minutes to go, if you're going to go out on a dry tyre, it is going to be now. And there are people diving into the pits at speed. I wonder if you're someone like Logan Sargent or Yuki Tsunoda, do you get on that dry tyre and just risk it? Just risk it. Or is it too much risk that you're going to damage the car, be very expensive and just look a bit stupid? On board again with Lewis Hamilton. This might be the moment I called when he came out of the hairpin. Had a sketchy moment. Yeah, whoa, big drift from Lewis Hamilton coming out of the hairpin. Superb car control there, sort of lets it drift out, snaps it back in. Silent Ray says, worth the gamble. Yeah, what would you do, by the way, in chat? What would you do if you were in this situation? Charles Leclerc on the radio saying, come on, Snowder. Snowder is quite a swear word, to be honest. So, let me know what you think Charles Leclerc said there within reason. Phantom, hey, Kireth, pretty happy because I won the league. Won the KCR league race in the Porsches. Congratulations, Phantom Buster. One of the best leagues in Gran Turismo, the KCR league. Such a friendly league, that. Join our Discord, by the way, if you want to hang out with like-minded motorsport people. 3,000 people in our Discord. Absolutely insane. Yeah, Hampton going drifting there. There's 4 minutes to go. I'm trying to see if anyone has gambled on going on a dry weather tyre, and I cannot see it at the moment. Where is Alex Albon? He's in P10 at the moment. He's looking pretty good. Lance Stroll, P16. Lewis was saying he might be in trouble. He needs to pull a lap time out. What is the cutoff going to be? Difficult to say. At the moment, it's a 123.9 for Gasly, but he's just gone down. So Stroll is just one away from being in the Q1 elimination zone. Welcome, Wills. Davies, I'm a half Ferrari Mercedes fan. What, my fan has just stopped. Speaking of fans, I need to look. My fan stopped. It's a disaster. Battery onto... Oh, nice. Yes. Fresh and cool. I need it. Black and welcoming the new subs. Where are we at the moment? 3 minutes to go, everyone. You can see Verstappen's on 21.7. Everyone at the moment is out on track. 20 cars out on track. Drying conditions. I would say very high chances of a red flag incident. And if there's a red flag incident and your name is Lance Stroll, you are in big trouble. I think Verstappen just went a little bit faster. Silent Racer, McLaren fan. Good to see McLaren fans in the chat. By the way, 300 people watching. If you are enjoying the stream, hit that like button as well. You can get us to 100 likes, and I'd personally really appreciate it. So with a lot of people in chat showing your support for our little F1 community. And Lance Stroll still in the drop zone. I'm trying to see what is going on with Lance Stroll, but I can't. Lando Norris, by the way, only 2/10 off Max Verstappen. So Lando looking very good. We know he's someone who does enjoy the wet conditions, although we don't speak about Sochi with him. Lance Stroll still in P16 from what I can see. P17 now. Stroll in trouble. Perez has managed to go up, but again, remember, with 2 minutes to go, the track is getting drier and drier. So the amount the track dries during a lap could be the difference between you getting overtaken by a car that would otherwise be slower. Guan Yu Zhou on my screen is in big trouble. Obviously, his car had that issue, and maybe they have not quite been able to fix it. I don't know. Cars going around are still going to get 2 laps because they're going over the line with 1 minute 30 remaining, and the lap time is 1 minute 21. Who is going to be the car last over the line? If I can get a camera angle, I'll try and call it. I can't. You can see on your radar. So on my screen, it's 1 minute 22 to go. That means anyone who didn't get over the line is not going to get another lap. And that includes, by the way, Lance Stroll, who is pretty unfortunately placed here. So where is he? Where is P8? He's managed to go P8, but he won't get another lap. So there's going to be quite a few other drivers getting another lap. George saying Checo's an average pilot. Cameroon saying Lando's got this. We will see Lando looking pretty good right now. And Fernando Alonso is out qualifying Max Verstappen at the moment. Wow. Who is in the danger zone? Valtteri Bottas is. Yuki Tsunoda, Nick De Vries, Logan Sargent, and Guan Yu Zhou. I think Guan Yu Zhou is a formality for going out. Obviously had that issue. But are we going to see both Alphas and both Alpha Tauris going out? No, we're not, because Valtteri Bottas goes P7. So Esteban Ocon is down there. Man, the person who got on the podium in Monaco, a P3 result in podium. Oh no, he's up there, got a P5. He managed to time it nicely. Who else is going to get another lap? Nick De Vries is going to get another lap in. Logan Sargent might be able to get a lap in. I can't really tell, but Nick De Vries can have an opportunity here on a drying track to push Oscar Piastri out of it. Let's have a look at the standings. George Russell is dangerously close, but he's on a good position on track, I believe. Keep an eye for Nick De Vries. Where does he go? Not that much faster. Not that much faster than De Vries. So I think we're pretty much there. Guan Yu Zhou might be just finishing a lap. Guan Yu Zhou can't quite get there. It's going to be Sargent, Sonoda, Guan Yu Zhou, De Vries. Look how close George Russell is. Manages to put out a lap right at the end there and goes P4. So it's going to be Pierre Gasly, I believe, is a person that's going to lose out. Sonoda is going to get another lap in though. He's very well placed when it comes to getting over the line. Where does Sonoda go? Difficult for me to say. Sonoda goes 16, can't quite do it. And Pierre Gasly, I believe, is going to be out in Q1. So the big shock in Q1 is Pierre Gasly. Nico Hulkenberg just getting through. So we have lost both AlphaTauris and one Williams, one Alfa Romeo, and an Alpine. So the drivers that did really well there, Alex Albon has to be the driver of Q1. Yeah, Cameron calling it P6 for Alex Albon. Wow, 121.9. And by the way, Verstappen doing a 120.8. Are we getting closer to the crossover now for dry weather tyres? We will see. Could be the time for dry weather tyres. Remember, the times in FP were about a 1 minute 13, so we're now 7 seconds away from the dry weather times. Welcome everyone in chat. Sorry if I missed anyone in chat. Stoneline saying this looks like an ordinary Saturday afternoon drive for Verstappen. He did take it back there from Alonso at the end. Whoa, contact almost between Lance Stroll and a Mercedes at the hairpin. Let me see what happened here. Were they both on flying laps? Is it Hamilton? Oh, Hamilton will be in big trouble here if he was not on a flying lap, because he's blocked Lance Stroll, and there was that almighty mess. Oh, Pierre Gasly's going to be furious. Pierre Gasly did not get through to Q3 because he had to cut the chicane. We've seen this. Oh, it's amateur hour. We've seen this in FP3. I've been saying it all weekend. It's getting way too stacked up on the straight before the last corner. Pierre Gasly simply could not turn in for the last corner, I think to complete his lap, because there were two cars just basically dawdling on the apex. So we had to cut the corner. Pierre Gasly, the man who took a penalty in Barcelona, he is furious in the car. Absolutely furious. Got a penalty in Spain from impeding, I think Carlos Sainz was it, called out by, and he's absolutely livid in the car. Gasly, you know, I think he's got every right to be furious there. Every right. Now we've got an advert for Workday, which I don't care about. It's just me on this YouTube channel. I don't have a no need for HR planning. Do I need to book in my own holiday on Workday? Poor Gasly. This happens too often. Yeah, it's like Monza on steroids. Gasly not happy with Carlos. Well, roles are reversed there, aren't there? Roles are reversed. From Spain. Deary me. So let me try and explain what happens. So what happens is that Gilles Villeneuve circuit in Montreal is the cars wait on the back straight to start their flying lap. Gasly was already on a flying lap. He was approaching the last corner. He wants to really attack it, get very close to the world champions. And there were two cars, including a Ferrari, just sort of waiting to start their lap. So absolutely terrible. But what can you do about it, to be honest? Is there anything you can do about it? I'm just going to restart the thing as well so we get this all the way through. May as well take it now. But Pierre Gasly, the reality is that you can't do anything about it. They can't give him a lap time. All they might do is penalise. Well, it was Carlos Sainz and someone else. So there were two cars already getting in each other's way. So how you deal with that at the series, I don't know. The reality is that Pierre Gasly, you know, unless he was going to crash into them, he just had to cut the corner. So really unlucky for Pierre Gasly there, to be honest. Really unlucky.
It should be green now.
Yeah, also Lewis Hamilton might be in trouble there for impeding Lance Stroll. Remember, Lance Stroll only just scraped through, really. If you look at the timings, wow, there's only 1/10 in it. 1/10 in it, and that might have been the lap that he set. So if you're Lance Stroll, you're going to be furious at Lewis Hamilton as well. Lewis Hamilton's obviously quite savvy, saying, oh, I couldn't see in my mirrors. But that's not a defence, unfortunately, as we've seen. The FIA quite keen to penalise here. So we might have a couple of penalties for drivers that have gone through into Q2, I think. George saying Gasly has been so weekend. Well, Gasly did have the his car broke down, didn't it? Didn't this car break down in FP1? Cameroon saying Hamilton may have a grid drop coming. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, you could see Gasly, he was desperate to turn in. But if he turned in, he just would have ran into the back of the Ferrari. There's an AlphaTauri there and a Ferrari. Oh my word, it's a mess. Someone has to get penalised there. And I think it has to be Carlos Sainz. I think it has to be Carlos Sainz. Because I think Carlos Sainz actually impeded 2 cars almost. There was also an AlphaTauri knocking around. Fireplace. Oh, Pierre Gasly, I think, might be walking over to the Ferrari garage. Yes, here we go. Love this. Love this. He's walking over to the Ferrari. It's going to be handbags. Get your boxing gloves out in the chat as we get going for Q2. But Pierre Gasly is going to give Carlos Sainz a bit of his mind. Michael Schumacher, Spa, was it Spa 98 style with David Coulthard? You love to see it. It's kicking off in the pits. Pierre Gasly in the blue corner. Carlos Sainz in the red corner. Who would you fancy in a fight between Pierre Gasly and Carlos Sainz? I'll be honest, Carlos Sainz doesn't look like a fighter to me. There we go. Let's have a bench clear out. Look at the boxing gloves coming out. We love... Sky have cut away from it, but this is... Sky, this is prime footage. Gasly is tiny. What's he going to do? Squeal at him? Carlos Sainz. Come on, who do you think is going to win that fight? Carlos Sainz or Gasly? They must be around the same weight. They're all tiny, aren't they, these people, these drivers? Andrew says, to be fair, Carlos had nowhere to go. I don't know about that, mate. There's a whole straight there. Yeah, Netflix like this. But if you're Carlos, you're going to be furious at your team. 20 seconds to go before Q2 starts, by the way. The incident involving Gasly and Sainz will be investigated after the session. Investigated after the session, everyone. Wow, okay. Andrew saying Carlos was causing problems in FP3. Yeah, Carlos was causing a few problems. Who was unhappy with him? Someone was repeatedly unhappy with Carlos Sainz. Can someone remind me who that was? Was it Gasly who was really annoyed with him in practice as well? Sainz could have gone into the pits. No, Sainz was waiting to start his lap though, wasn't he? He couldn't have gone into the pits because he wouldn't have got his lap in. They should have just done a better job down the back straight. Carlo boxing gloves versus Gasly. Perrier would curb him. Who's Perrier? It was Albon. Yeah, Alex Albon was furious with Carlos Sainz a few times in practice. Alex Albon had the same issue, now I remember, in FP3, where he also could not sort of complete his mock flying lap. Do you remember that in our FP3 stream? F1 Cracing L Carlos skill issue. Ouch. Gasly would knock Carlos out. Okay, it's getting a bit intense. I haven't seen what's happened, but Pierre Gasly was storming down to the Ferrari garage, helmet on. So make of that what you will. By the way, Q2 is underway, and this is going to be the story, I believe, of when drivers are going to go onto the dry tyre, because there's definitely a dry line forming. Zach Brown, was he doing some Shaman stuff? Possibly. Get your hands ready in the chat. We'll see Christian Horner if he's going to be doing Shaman stuff. Yeah, Carlos, you've got to get Carlos Jr. and Senior. Albon on slicks. Mark reporting. Mark is coming in. Our source saying that Alex Albon's on slicks. Max Verstappen is on intermediate tyres and picking up a lot of spray. But apparently Alex Albon is on slicks. I think it's going to be one of these sessions where you see we just cut to a car in the wall. It's going to be one of those. We're going to cut car in the wall. Red flag. Ferrari using full wets. We will see absolute textbook Ferrari strat. There is definitely a dry line forming now, but it's one of these dry lines where it's just 2 tyre lines. It's that narrow. You don't even have like a whole track. It's just you've got to keep each tyre within a little sort of railway line. Cameron says Carlos doesn't know where to go because he doesn't have co-driver. That's a great tweet. If you want to tweet that, that would get some great engagement. We can't blame Carlos. He doesn't have a co-driver like his dad. That's a great one. Can you remind me how to tweet that afterwards, actually? Charlotte Leclerc's on the radio about something. Verstappen's gone fast. Few sets. Says, yes, 1 minute 20s. I called it in FP3. In FP3, I said when we go sub 1 minute 20, I believe that we're going to be clearing the crossover point. Oh my word, Verstappen almost runs into... What is this amateur hour? Almost runs into a Haas on the back straight. My word. Max Verstappen's going down the back straight, and a Haas, who's a slow Haas, ahead of him, trying to get out of the way, almost goes into the way of Verstappen. Verstappen had to take avoiding action at full speed down the back straight. My word, what is going on here? Just has everyone forgotten how to deal with traffic? Yeah. So who's this? Is that Fernando Alonso? No, that's Lance Stroll's white helmet. Lance Stroll going sideways on the intermediate tyres there. So we're hearing drivers on slicks, but Lance Stroll, quite early on in the lap, has he just come out of the pits or something? He might have just come out of the pits, frankly. Has gone very, very, very sideways. Had a big spin, and has Lance Stroll. Has he completely overheated those intermediate tyres? We will see. What would be the optimum window licker strat? Just ask Ferrari. Spy says Verstappen first, Norris, Alonso, Leclerc, Icon Perez. Is he an Icon F1 23? Having a look here, the replay, Lance Stroll. What happened here? Oh my word. Oh, he's hit his front wing. This is the most insane spin by Lance Stroll. He's going into the second chicane, does a YOLO 360, hits his wing on the front, but the wing does not come off. So he goes in and he goes, YOLOs it, and as he's YOLOing it, he hits his wing against the side of the track, the barrier. My word, Stroll's going to need to be in there for a new wing. That's quite a big impact, even if it didn't fall off. What Haas village was that he got in Max's way? Yeah, a Haas car there, potentially in trouble. People saying in chat it's a skill issue for Lance Stroll, home GP for Lance, and Max. No, is that Verstappen or... Yes, Verstappen in the pits, and he is on soft tyres. Verstappen's on the softs. We're on the crossover point. I should be a strategist. We've hit the crossover point, sub-1 minute 20s. Here we go. We just saw Lance Stroll almost bin it, or basically bin it on Inters, and Max Verstappen's now out on the soft tyres. So, are we going to see people struggle? Lando Norris here on the soft tyres. Is he starting his fast lap? Piastri's in. I think we're going to see drivers coming out onto the softs with just under 10 minutes to go here. Soft tyres, but the curbs are very wet. You will actually need to take different lines. You actually need to take different lines here. If you go on the curbs and take the fastest line to the track, you will bring water onto your tyres and you will aquaplane and spin. So the drivers on soft tyres are basically gambling that there's more grip available on the tarmac off the curbs than the intermediates. They're able to more likely go over the curbs. Alex Albon with a 119.4. Yes, great shout from George there. Alex Albon 119.4. Alonso's up there. Who is in the danger zone? With 9 minutes to go. Lewis Hamilton's well down there. Lance Stroll is down there. Norris as well needs to get up there. So can you give us a McLaren weather classification? We will see. Yeah, throw the red flag for Alex Albon. If Logan Sargent was still here, we could just bin it. This is going to be a crazy session because we're going to see it get faster and faster. You really want to be one of the last cars to go over the line before the clock tips over to 0. Fernando Alonso, though, is on the intermediate tyre. Chat, Fernando Alonso has just set that 19.7 you see there, I believe, on the Inters. So we're very much on the crossover. But you have to say, if a Williams has done a 118.7, then we're... Oh, get your hands out. Christian, it's raining. It's raining. Get your hands out. Get your hands out. It's raining. Horn has done the shaman check. I want to see your hands out in the chat. I want to see your hands out in the chat. Everyone, get your hands out. Here we go. Get your pink hands out for Christian Horner. He has confirmed the rain. Alex Albon needing to dodge traffic. Oh my word. Alex Albon could be through to Q3 here. Who's going to be in trouble? Hamilton's done lapping. Lance Stroll could be in trouble, but he's finishing up a lap. Maybe he's going to get around before he gets wetter. The people that are on soft tyres here might be in big trouble. Big trouble. Verstappen should be safe. Perez might be in trouble here. He's not in the top 10. Wow. You can't call this. Charles Leclerc's in P8 now. Carlos Sainz near the danger zone. Are we going to see anyone improve? People are taking the soft tyres off and putting intermediates on, I believe. So it's all change. It's absolute chaos in the Mercedes garage. I don't know what to do with the tyres, frankly. Is it inters? Is it softs? Nobody knows. We're running out of time, though. 7 minutes to go, and you just don't want to get caught out. Lance Stroll was only able to go up into P2. His teammate has gone almost 2 seconds quicker in P2. Someone drug test that Williams, indeed. Oh my, this is absolutely phenomenal stuff. The weather is crazy. Lance Stroll was not able to convert it on the intermediates. We're back onto intermediate conditions, possibly, but people have already set lap times on dry, soft weather tyres. You just won't be able to do that now. Again, the advantage is getting out there, setting good laps early on is really coming to the fore. I think Bottas, Magnussen, Stroll, Hülkenberg are in big trouble, and Sergio Perez, once again, just has not quite been able to match the lightning pace of Max Verstappen and is putting him in big trouble here. Sergio Perez in P11. Is he on a lap right now? He's on a lap. Let's see if he can improve. I don't think it's enough. I don't think it's enough. He's in P11 as Sergio Perez with 6 minutes to go. Everyone's going out now, I think, on the soft tyres. But it was raining. Is it going to dry again? Is Alex Albon actually going to be vulnerable? How did he set that 18.7? Absolutely insane time. He's 1 second quicker than Alonso and everyone below him. Great stuff from Alex Albon here. Williams' new W11, yeah. The blue W11. People are coming out on soft tyres, by the way. Perez out in P2. Well, if it's soft conditions, you would imagine that Perez will be able to do it. But he hasn't been able to convert it so far. T says if Horner was really British, he would pull out an ice cream when it starts raining. Yeah, and do a barbecue. So confirmed not British. Alex Albon here looking at a replay. He was coming into the last corner. Did he have to deal with traffic? Yes, he did. My word. Is that Carlos Sainz again? Is that Carlos Sainz almost caused a 180 mile an hour crash on the back straight? Carlos Sainz, my word, what are you doing? He almost turned in. Alex Albon's been all over Carlos Sainz from free practice. We've been following that on this channel. By the way, if you're enjoying the stream, make sure to subscribe to this channel. Really helps us out. Your support is absolutely insane. Maybe next year we can go to Canada and I can be doing this live. Leclerc's being told on the radio, heavier rain in 2 to 3 minutes. So this might be the window where you can set the fastest laps right now if heavier rain is coming in. Alex Albon almost got taken out there by Carlos Sainz is just having a terrible weekend. And I have to be honest, I really like Carlos Sainz. Remember, he's driven for Renault, driven for Toro Rosso, he's driven for McLaren, he's driven for Ferrari. 4 great teams in Formula 1. But I feel like he's just lost his mojo a little bit at Ferrari this season. I really feel like it has not gone his way. Although he had a very good qualifying in Barcelona, he couldn't convert it. 4 minutes. Let's have a look at the timings here. Alex Albon still being supreme. Sergio Perez down there in P12. It's not looking good for Perez. He cannot improve. Now he goes on to his fastest lap. We'll see what Perez can do. Look at Oscar Piastri up to P4. The Inters might nick it at the end here. I don't believe everyone is out. Oh my word. Is that Carlos Sainz again? Carlos Sainz is like being a dirty driver in like a racing video game. What are Ferrari doing? Who on earth is calling the shots at Ferrari? Is it Stevie Wonder they've got on the pit wall there? Because they're not doing a very good job, I have to say, about getting out of the way of traffic. Absolute insanity. Ferrari are a shambles right now. Embarrassment. Perez is sitting in P12 though. Charles Leclerc's in P11, by the way. So Charles Leclerc needs to pull one out. Black and white flag for Leclerc, failing to follow race director instruction track limits. Black and white flag for Leclerc. One more of those and he might get black flagged. I don't know. Look at 10 to 12. Big names, yes. Hamilton, P12. Charles Leclerc, 11. Perez, P12. Stroll in P13. You know what it means. Look, if Alex Albon's in P1 and Oscar Piastri's in P4, that's 2 slots taken that big names aren't going to get right now. So let's see what happens. Hamilton at the moment is just by the skin of his teeth there. Is the track any faster though? Or has the track got slower? Everyone's out on dry tyres. 2.5 minutes to go. Leclerc said more rain was coming. If it is going to be raining, need to view Christian Horner. Oh, there's a Ferrari coming into the pits. What does that mean? And by the way, Sergio Perez is on the intermediate tyre. He's the only driver right now on the Inters. So Red Bull have gambled and put Perez on the Inters. I'm not sure that's the strat. I think the track is just fundamentally slower. Oh, and he's missed the last chicane of Sergio. Oh, he's tried to go into the pits. No, he hasn't. He's tried to abort it. It's terrible. He's going to lose 2 laps here, Sergio Perez. He's going to lose that lap and his next lap. Disaster for Sergio Perez. Can't get it turned in. So many cars on track now. Lots of traffic. Charles Leclerc's on the intermediate tyre. I'm telling you, you're watching here an absolute disaster for some of the big teams because they're trying their best, but fundamentally, I believe the track might just be slower. So if you're Lewis Hamilton, you might actually be unassailable right here. But Charles Leclerc, Perez, Stroll, you can put on, frankly, whatever tyres you want. The track is just slower, and people pushing it to the limits. We might see an instant. Esteban Ocon getting held up here by a Aston Martin. What's that about? Is that Lance Stroll? Ocon's got to be furious. Oh, my word. Ocon's been held up massively. That's Lance Stroll actually defending against... And it's raining now. It's raining. It's done. It's done. Say goodbye to Charles Leclerc. Say goodbye to Perez. Say goodbye to Stroll. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. They messed it up. They messed it up. I think Lewis Hamilton's just going to be safe. It's raining now. I think it will take a miracle for anyone to take themselves out of the drop zone here. It is absolutely done. This is the advantage of getting your lap times done early in these conditions and get them done solidly. But there are big drama going on here. Did something fall off a car there in F1 Manager? Big drama going on here with the wet weather. We're going to lose Charles Leclerc. We're going to lose Sergio Perez. Stroll and Ocon's going to be investigated. We saw Gasly didn't make it through because he was impeded. My word. This is absolutely astonishing stuff. Again, Ferrari have managed to get caught out, but so has Sergio Perez. This season so far, apart from the first few races, but Sergio Perez has had a very good recovery race in Barcelona, but remember, his qualifying was bad. So this will be second race in a row that Perez will not get through. I'm calling it already. They're still going around, but I really don't think they're going to get through into Q3. But I'm happy to be proved wrong if they do, but that's my prediction. Albon on pole. No, because they're going to go to Q3 and it will get reset. Let's see what's going to happen here. And also, Lance Stroll is going to get slapped with a big penalty for that. I cannot see Lance Stroll not getting a 5-second penalty for what he did. Right, we're going to see people go over the line here. Is it going to be Valtteri Bottas first? Let's see. Valtteri Bottas. Oh, so much slower. Kevin Magnussen as well. I'm telling you, it is absolute disaster for Ferrari, Red Bull and Aston Martin here. So, look, if McLaren can go 3 and 4, it's a joke that Red Bull have not managed to get Perez into Q3. Let's be honest about it. In fact, Perez just aborts his last lap. He's done. He doesn't even set it. Disaster. Disaster. Welcome, Max Power. Good to see you. Hamilton saved by the rain. Yes, indeed. But what on earth are Ferrari doing? What on earth are Perez doing? You know, credit to McLaren, obviously. Credit to Williams. And also, I have to say credit to Haas getting Nico Hülkenberg through. This is going to be the stat of Q2. The only team that managed to get both of their drivers through to Q3, the only teams were McLaren and Mercedes. Those are the only teams with 2 drivers in Q3. Astonishing, really, isn't it? Max has broken another teammate. It's just terrible strategy, really. Atrocious strategy. Charles Leclerc as well. And by the way, Carlos Sainz is going to get a 5-second penalty. Sorry, 5-place penalty. So probably Leclerc will start ahead of Carlos Sainz. They'll start together. So Ferrari have really classically Ferrari'd this one. Welcome, Schluey. Good opportunity to subscribe to the channel, by the way. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you want to support the channel. The thing it does most is basically support the channel. Helps us grow. Should be harsher penalties for impeding. Yes, AJ, I agree. Snowline saying Canadians are very thick. Not sure about that. George, why does Perez smell so good? By the way, we've got 500 people watching. Let us know again, roll call. Who are you supporting in Q3? Who do you think is going to get through to Q3 in Canada? Let us know. Not who's going to win Q3, I mean. Oh, look at that unsafe exit there from the Williams. Ferrari looks awful around here. Well, I don't know, man. They were looking decent in the early qualifying sessions, but when it came to Q2, Hasn't really worked out. Snowline saying Max, George, you make an absolute killing on TikTok, my friend. Silent Racer's done a prediction. P1 Alonso, P2 Max, P3 Norris. I think Max could be this. Honestly, I think Lando, Alonso, Alex Albon on pole. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. That's what the F word stands for. Ferrari. Yeah, absolutely Ferrari'd it. Danny says Maldonado. Thanks, Kepris. Thanks, DJ. A lot of Max support in here. Dimitran supporting Alonso. Let us know who you are supporting. Nicholas coming in for Lewis. Andrew saying 3 British drivers into Q3. Yes, indeed. When's the last time that happened? Slap that like button. Exactly. Just give it a good old slap. It likes it. Alex Albon, yes, with the surprise strategy there. What is it going to be in terms of... Okay, that's done there. Sort of the track getting faster or not faster. We will see. 4 British drivers. Well, Alex Albon races under a Thai flag. That kind of, yeah. Thank you supporting Lewis. Hendrick supporting Lando. Ketbrush, Hamilton. Hendrick supporting Kando. Hamilton. ACPW supporting Hamilton. Marcia supporting Piastri. So, Stingle saying Sir Lewis Hamilton on pole. Sir Lewis Hamilton is the shout. Q3 is going to start, by the way, in 3.5 minutes' time. Philip supporting Lewis. Chris P supporting Tsunoda. Lewis supporting Ocon because no one else will. Ocon getting some love there. Let's be honest, the Alpines haven't been having the best time here, have they? Pierre Gasly, my word, you'd be absolutely furious. Has he beaten up Carlos Sainz yet? Plantpot supporting Loris. Thank you supporting Lewis. Richard supporting hello guys. Silent Racer saying Ferrari pit will need some real help. Yeah. How they have not managed to get Leclerc into Q3 is just absolutely shocking, frankly. Just need to navigate him, get him the clean air. Go, 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 go. Don't impede other drivers. Job done. That's it. Rich has been supporting Alonso since 2001, since the Minardi days. Look at the gap between Albon and Sargent. I don't think you can look too much into it because of the wet weather, I've got to be honest, but I'd take the point. Spee saying support Hamilton, 8-time world champion. Yes, indeed. Spee, a big fan of Lewis Hamilton. Good to see you. Mark saying Max, Fernando, Lando, top 3. By the way, the Red Bull is on intermediate tyres. Max Verstappen's on intermediates. Are they going to stack him? Yes, we're going to see stacking. 2.5 minutes to go. They're sending him out. In fact, they almost ran over the tyre blanket. They're in such a rush. They want to be at the front of the pit lane. 2 minutes to go. Oh, and he's just got out ahead. Get rid of... They got Karun Chandok. Get out of the way, Karun Chandok. I think I just saw Esteban Ocon there as well. Max Verstappen just by that much getting to the front of the pit lane before Esteban Ocon. But you got to remember, this is F1 manager strategy, right? If you have a look at the map in the bottom left, if Max Verstappen starts first, which he's going to do, by the time he comes to the last chicane, the last corner, there might be cars just coming out doing their slow lap. So he might have to navigate a load of slow traffic. So you could say it's actually quicker to go out the back of the pack. It's very difficult to call it, isn't it? It's not quite as simple as it seems. And we've seen here that it's very difficult to navigate the traffic. People saying the F1 feed is cut out. Maybe the F1 feed is cut out. Maybe there are CCTV issues again. Tyres are going to be frozen, but we've seen the Red Bulls very good at getting the tyres up to temperature. But I think Carlos Sainz did not look very comfortable there on track. I think he looked like a deer in the headlights there, frankly. Not getting the information. Terrified that he was going to get rear-ended. Different strat in the rain. Philip says, good shout. JBS saying Lewis Hamilton has had his day, time for change. Harris saying Hamilton, if strategy is good. Fernando Alonso has not been out-qualified in Canada since 2007. Is that 16 years he hasn't been out-qualified? I don't think he's raced every single year there. And there's also been 2 years it didn't happen for COVID. But Carlos Sainz is still in qualifying somehow. And he's also still in the garage. What tyres is he going to be on? We will see. Is it going to be Inters? Is it going to be dry weather tyres? Do not know. Remember, Ferrari only have Carlos Sainz in Q3. Red Bull only have Max Verstappen in Q3. There are 6 or so cars stacked at the front of the pit lane. We're going to get going in 10 seconds time. You can see it is Max Verstappen, followed by Ocon, followed by Hulkenberg, who again has managed to get through into Q3. Hulkenberg on the sly is doing quite a good qualifying job this season. We saw in FP2 in Barcelona, who's very quick as well. Carlos is going to be backing them all up. Yeah, who's Carlos going to crash into this this qualifying session? We will see. Naughty, need to put in the laps when you can. If the track's going to be getting wetter, you need to go right now. Carlos Sainz has come out. It's all jammed at the pit lane. There's a queue at the front. Has someone stalled or something? We're 30 seconds into the session and everyone's sort of backed up in the pits. Maybe they're just biding their time before they get out. Is it getting wetter? I mean, the cameras look very wet. If it's getting wetter, then basically Max Verstappen... Oh, it looks very wet on circuit. It looks very, very, very wet. So why did no one else come out of the pits with 3 minutes to go, sit at the front and be the first one to set a tyre? Wow, it looks like it's really... The rain is really coming down. Anyone seeing this? It's getting a lot wetter at Montreal. It's like a different... This is a different level of rain, by the way. It's all changing. You're not going to see any soft tyres in Q3, I think. Hulkenberg's on the radio. The conditions are it's raining. It's just getting worse and worse. Welcome to all of our new subscribers. Harris, Alvarez, Craig, Signal, Richard, Patrick, Nicholas. Thank you. If you want to be in the next list, hit that subscribe button now. Get your shout out on the stream. Verstappen might be in the pound seats here. He's about to go over the line on my screen for his flying lap. And the track is just getting slower and slower. I'm sorry, guys, but if you're... Why don't you just put your car out there at the front if you know it's getting wetter? It's absolutely storm conditions now, and there's likely to be a red flag. You want to be setting your lap time done so it's safe before anyone else bins it. Albon having the driver's life, rain for at least 60 minutes. My word, someone is going to fall off the track here because they're on intermediates, but frankly, it looks like wet weather conditions. Track Evolution F1 Champion saying, who is going to end up in the wall? Someone is going to end up in the wall here. So have a look at the standings. Verstappen is going to set a lap time. Oh my word, Verstappen almost in the wall. And Ocon will as well. So, oh man, I just feel like this is all going to come down to pit position, really. Again, Verstappen caught people napping. It's a 1:27. So we're 7 seconds. We're 10 seconds off what Alex Albon did in Q2. The track has just got 10 seconds slower. We're definitely in wet weather conditions. I don't think the track's going to get faster, but I might be wrong. With all the cars going round, difficult to say. Absolutely electric stuff. Incredible to follow this live, I have to say. Better not be Max kissing the wall. Max is getting very close to the wall. Ocon. Alonso gets in there, P2. Oh, just 2 tenths off. Are we going to see people go faster or not? There's about 9 minutes to go. Plenty of laps. I say fuel up the cars and just keep going. Because someone is going to run out of road or talent here and put it in the wall. I am almost certain. I'm 85% certain that someone is going to lose a front wing or something here. Fantastic quality Snowline says, also great to spend it with all of you. Welcome back, Cassie. Good to see you. These are wet conditions. Yeah, it's very wet. I mean, Sky haven't been showing it, but frankly, it's a storm right now. If it's going to be like this, they would not race in these conditions. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't race in these conditions.
Copy that.
And they're only out there on inters because they desperately trying to want to set a lap on the inters. But it might be... Someone might brave it on the wet weather tyre, to be honest. Someone would know... Oh, what are the Mercedes doing? Oh, Hamilton and Russell going P3 and 4. There is so much spray right now. It's actually very dangerous having Carlos Sainz circulating on track on the back straight because we know he can't avoid anything. And now he can't see anything. No one can see him. It is honestly... The cameras are panning and it's just grey spray. You cannot see a thing. This is as wet and as sprayy as it gets in Formula 1, ladies and gentlemen. Great to have you with us as well, by the way, on this live stream on the Kireth YouTube channel. 700 people watching right now. 7.5 minutes to go. Hulkenberg up to P2. Anyone see that with Hulkenberg? Yellow flag, people reporting. Looks green to me. Nico Hulkenberg getting close. Wow, that is huge. If the track's getting slow, it's a massive lap. Welcome Spy, Malcolm, and F1 Champion. Lewis saying they have to call this off. There is a yellow flag in sector 2. You are right. What's going on here? I can't... Oh! McLaren's off. Yellow flag. McLaren's off. McLaren in the wall. Oscar Piastri. We called it. I was absolutely certain. Look, as a racing driver myself, someone who goes racing in real life, you can feel it when someone's going to bin it. And Oscar Piastri has beached it. It's a red flag, by the way. So let's talk about this. It's a red flag. If the conditions get drier now, because they paused it, I think Piastri literally might be beached off the edge of the track, or the right rear tyre has shredded from its rim. So they're gonna have to recover that car. We're under red flag. That means that the timer pauses. Really unfortunate for McLaren as well, because it was a great job for McLaren getting both their drivers into Q3. Red Bull couldn't manage that. Alpine couldn't. Neither could Ferrari. I'm having a look here what happened. Going into the second chicane, Oscar Piastri going to the right-hander on the exit. Just gets a little drift. To be honest, it's quite unlucky. I think he does sort of beach it. It's quite an unlucky spin, but it was going to happen to someone because they were all pushing it so hard. Really unlucky, to be honest. Oh, and there's actually a big impact in the end on the right rear. It's like the brake exploded or something. Maybe a driver with more experience might have been able to just YOLO and 360 that, because he started spinning like we saw Yuki Tsunoda do, but then he rolled backwards into the barrier. So I wonder if a better driver, I don't want to say better driver, I wonder if a driver with more F1 experience might have been able to just keep that car rotating and then go. Let me know anyone who saw that. Nico Hulkenberg, by the way, in P2. So if it gets wetter, it's unlikely that the track is going to get drier right now. Why? Because even if it stops raining, there's not any F1 cars going around to dry up the track. And as soon as it goes green, it's going to start ticking down the timer. So we're going to run out of time and not maximise the amount of time for cars to be out drying the track. So I don't think the track is going to get that much drier. So if you're Nico Hulkenberg right now, you're pretty happy. If you're Fernando Alonso, you're pretty happy. If you're Mercedes, I'd say you're very happy, because the risk for Mercedes have not been looking good in the wet, but they've done 2 solid laps there in P4 and P5. Ferrari having an absolute disaster. Alex Albon, unusually, didn't get... By the way, the weather radar is horrendous. We've got yellow rain going over. Never go out in the yellow rain over Montreal. I think it is... Look, there's a couple of things they could do here. Very controversial. They're recovering the car now. If the race director deems it too wet to go out on track, they could not put it green flag. But then it would be very controversial if they green flag it at the point that the track is actually faster than it was when Nico Hulkenberg went second, wouldn't it? So there's a lot in the hands of the race director here about when they go green or not. Lewis saying it has to be called off. It won't be called off. It's a very solid lap to get P4 and 5. Forget about your semantics about tenths of a second. Fundamentally, right now, they are, Hamilton is starting on the second row. Which, that's pretty much as good as it gets from Mercedes. So, in real-world motorsport, I think Mercedes will be quietly happy with that. Quietly happy, I have to say. Especially when they've got Alonso and Hulkenberg ahead of them. They might be looking at a 2-3 for Mercedes and GP. That's how I see it. This is over. It's not over yet. I mean, it's not raining. We'll see what they're going to do. We'll see what they're going to do, basically. Bear with me, chat. I'm still with you here. Just want to see if I can find out some more stuff on the weather. Bear with me a second. The cars are all ready. They're ready to go out immediately. The mechanics are there, like sprinted on the starting block. In fact, they're taking... Ferrari thinks something's happening. We're still under red flag, but Ferrari are going to send out Carlos Sainz to the front of the pit lane under red flag conditions. I haven't seen a communication saying that we're going to go green, frankly. So I don't know what's going on. They're all queuing up. Ferrari's there. Red Bull's... Okay, we're going to go in 2 minutes. Again, 2 minutes to go, and they're getting ready to rock and roll. Bear with me a second. Oscar Piastri very unlucky there with the spin that he had, to be honest. Very, very, very unlucky. But it was inevitable. I mean, someone was going to do it. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Don Perez. I think we wrote Don Perez on his way out for Red Bull. I don't know. I think Perez is really up against it. Carlos Sainz feels like he's up against it as well. Keep an eye on the standings. So is it 8 past the hour? We're going to go live. We will see. 2 minutes, yes. Cameroon saying Hulkenberg basically matching Max until Sector 3. Very good analysis there. Yeah, very good. Although I think he was actually slower in Sector 2 than Sector 3. I think it was Sector 2 where he lost out. That's my analysis, that. ACPW saying weather looks dry tomorrow. We're getting all the weather at Canada. It was wet last year. Obviously, we had some insane races. So, yeah, Ferrari and Carlos Sainz, they want to be at the front here. I'm trying to see. I'm looking aboard with Alonso. Is it raining on Alonso's car? Because the rain is just so localized, the heavy bits. You know, or to be really cynical, I'm going to be really cynical, okay? Cynical alert, 700 people watching. If you're Nico Hulkenberg, do you accidentally brake a little bit later and spin, and maybe they bring out another red flag? Does that work in your favour? If you're P2 right now? Are we going to see any shenanigans? Could Red Bull bring back Albon? Wow, what a story that would be. You have to say Alex Albon's stock is really rising. He's doing an amazing job there at Williams. Carlos Sainz there, you can see, is front of the queue. What is he going to do? Someone with a DRS hat. Naughty Righty Max, Lando. Oh, Lando in a Red Bull. That'll be fun for sure. Green, green, green. Yes, we are green, by the way. Less than 7 minutes to go in Q3. Is anyone looking at Nico Hulkenberg thinking, yes, I have a bit of that? By the way, Max Verstappen is 4/10 ahead of Fernando Alonso. 4/10? He's 2 seconds ahead. Jesus Christ, man. Verstappen is 2 seconds ahead of Alonso. If you're Verstappen, do you even go out again? My words. Nico gets a yellow on purpose. Right. Philip agrees. Andrew saying Carlos will bin it. Verstappen's on the radio saying it's a lot wetter already. Good news for Verstappen. Good news for Hulkenberg. Good news for Alonso. I think good news for Mercedes, to be honest. Although maybe if you're Mercedes, you really... I don't know. It depends what your risk appetite is. But if you're Mercedes, I think you would take having Hamilton on P4, Russell P5, than the risk of something bad happening and you went back down in P10. That's how I read that. If I was the team principal. Lewis saying Russell will spin. Someone's very happy with the emojis in the chat. You love to see it. What is going on track? Have a look at the sector times. Carlos Sainz, I believe, is gone through sector 1. And, well, if that's his sector time, that's nowhere near, right? If that's representative from Carlos, then this ain't going to happen. This ain't going to happen for Carlos. And he's going to get a 5. Carlos Sainz might start in, like, P13 here, this race. Because I've never seen him impeding on the level of Carlos Sainz. He's taken the art of impedance, frankly, to new heights. As our friend Carlos. There's a Red Bull in the pits as well. That has to be Max Verstappen, obviously. Because Sergio Perez didn't make it. Verstappen's got the visor open, so obviously worried about a bit of misting there. Very easy to mist up your visor. Let us know in the chat, by the way. Does anyone think that anyone other than Verstappen is going to win qualifying or get on pole in qualifying? If you do, then let us know in the chat. And by the way, If you're enjoying the stream, make sure to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button right now if you haven't already. I'd personally really appreciate it. You guys and girls absolutely make this community. Carlos Sainz has been on another excursion again, running deep at turn 1. So Carlos Sainz is having probably the worst qualifying session I've seen in my life. Absolutely terrible. Just decides to skip turn 1 there. Not going to happen. F1 champion saying Albon for pole. Not sure. Wet weather tyres coming out for Max Verstappen. But this is the thing. If these lap times have been set at 125.8, are you going to be able to beat that on wet weather tyres? I don't think so. I think the track has just done it again. Lewis Hamilton saying it's too wet for intermediates. I'm going to be on board with him as he goes down the start-finish straight. Going to see if he's able to turn in for turn 1. Or is it just too wet? Goes to the kink to the right. Hand off the steering wheel, doing a thing. Tries to turn in. No, just no grip. No grip. Not able to carry the speed. And again, Hamilton needs to. I'll show you what he's doing exactly. Hamilton, when he's locking it, he's having to take his wheel off and go like that to lift the wheel on the reverse side. Absolutely insane stuff from Hamilton. But yeah, it looks too wet to be on an intermediate, and I would say it's therefore too wet to beat Nico Hülkenberg's time, frankly. That's the way I read it. Welcome to Ant Cam and Gary subscribing. Andrew with some great intel. Fastest up on full wets in FP3 was a 129. Is anyone going to fancy? Maybe you can't get near Max, but can you get near Hülkenberg? Hülkenberg's almost in the 126. Lewis saying no one can do it, surely. Why have they got Lewis and Inters? Because you kind of have to gamble, right? You're not going to beat the lap time on wet weather tyres, I believe. I'm not sure Nico Hülkenberg's going to go out again. The mechanics there are chilling. They're on the TV cameras and loving it. Few waves. Carl's saying he's getting experience on them. I reckon. I think they've had FP to get the experience. To be fair, I think Mercedes will take this P4 and 5. I think Mercedes will be very happy. I have to say. It's just Carlos Sainz is out there. It's absolutely raining, and he goes straight in. So Carlos Sainz again for some reason just out there on intermediate tyres. You can't see a thing. He's like wiping his visor. I've been there, Carlos. When you're having to wipe your visor, by the way, when you're racing in the rain, you know that it's wet. It's wet out there. F1 saying Verstappen World Drivers' Championship confirmed. Verstappen's second World Drivers' Championship. It would be. Is it going to be the case? Chris was saying Max Verstappen, Alonso Hamilton for the podium. Let us know in the chat who you think is going to be on the podium tomorrow. I think it's going to be Verstappen, Hamilton, Russell. I think going from Barcelona, the Mercedes did finish quite strong. So that's what we're going to do. Third World Drivers' Champion? What? That would be Alonso's, wouldn't it? And they're delighted, by the way, with Nico Hülkenberg because he is going to start on the front row of the grid. Nico Hülkenberg's car, can we just say, his car blew up in FP2 yesterday. Literally blew up. And they have managed to fix it and get him on the front row of the grid. Big hats off to the Haas team there and the Haas mechanics. Getting that car back together. Big high fives all the way around the garage. The quality session is not over, by the way. There's still over a minute to go. But everyone knows the reality is, as I've been saying, the track is just not in a condition where people are going to beat it. Albon P10. Albon P10, yeah, unfortunately Albon never set a lap, but, you know, if Albon could have gone out there early and maybe stacked it, you know, didn't we see Hülkenberg at the front of that queue nearly? So it worked out quite well for old Nico. Richard saying, yes, it will be Max's third World Driver Championship. Okay. Aaron says, if Max wins on Sunday, he wins as much as Senna. Andrew, Double Dash Motorsports saying, interesting grid tomorrow. Very interesting grid. Very interesting grid. Let's run through the grid then. We'll go from back to front. Guan Yu Zhou obviously had that issue in Q1. They never really fixed it. He's in last place. Logan Sargent, P19. Nick De Vries way down there. Pierre Gasly getting impeded in Q1. Absolute disaster. He's in P17. Carlos Sainz will be getting a penalty for that, no doubt. Yuki Snowden, P16. Bottas couldn't have a good qualifying session in P15. Kevin Magnussen will be probably rightly irritated at looking at Nico Hülkenberg up in P2 and Kevin Magnussen down in P14. So that's not a great thing if you're Nico Hülkenberg's teammate. Lance Stroll in P13. He might also get... No, he was impeded a little bit by Lewis Hamilton, actually. so maybe unlucky. Sergio Perez again for the second race in a row, not getting through to Q3. Absolute disaster for Sergio Perez. Charles Leclerc as well. Really disappointed for Charles Leclerc. He's in P11. Alex Albon in P10. Obviously, he was a man who finished fastest in Q2, but it all resets to Q3. Williams, no doubt, will be happy, though, that he's starting on the 5th row. That will be, I believe. Oscar Piastri in P9. He binned it, unfortunately, so he created the red flag. That really changed it for everyone because the track then was just way too slow by the time it restarted. Carlos Sainz, the man who's probably going to rack up about 50 grid penalty positions, so he's going to start in 35th place, but he finished there in P8. Lando Norris in P7 will be a little bit disappointed. Remember, Lando Norris started, didn't he qualify in P3 in Barcelona? So there is some pace in that McLaren. McLaren back in the game. They'll be disappointed. Esteban Ocon, I think, won't be too disappointed, at least being up there in P6. Then George Russell, Lewis Hamilton, P4 and 5. Frankly, Mercedes have looked behind the game quite a lot in all the sessions this weekend so far. So for them to actually be up there when the rain came down, I think they'll be happy with. Fernando Alonso is having the best season for very, very, very many years, up in P3, although 1.5 seconds behind Max Verstappen. Nico Hülkenberg putting the lap time out, doing everything his experience showing in P2. But Max Verstappen, this is a huge gap. It is over a second gap, a second and a 3/10 gap at the front. I don't think we've seen a gap like that for a very, very, very long time. Utter dominance here from Max Verstappen, looking very comfortable. The only thing he's not happy about in his car is the downshift. He's repeatedly saying he's not happy about the downshifts in his car. Right, chat, I want to hear from you now in the chat. Let me know your 1, 2, 3 tomorrow. 1, 2, 3. What is the result going to be? And we will see when we come back tomorrow if we're happy with that, or if anyone called it. Chat is going mad. Charlie Hunt says, Mark saying nothing can stop Max at the moment. Any weather, any track, he is unstoppable. He is, yeah, absolutely on fire at the moment. Philip saying Hülkenberg and Haas can we get in the 10 race tomorrow? Is it going to be a sprinkling of rain tomorrow? We will see. Andrew saying Red Bull hanging Checo out to dry again. I think Checo's not being his own best friend, but are they really concentrating all the resources on Max when it comes to strategy? Possibly. Prince says, come on man, you're too harsh on Science. Okay, maybe it'll be a 40 place grid drop for Science. Liam saying Science getting 10 place grid drop. I think Science is definitely getting a big grid drop. Ferrari need to get on F1 Manager, maybe they need to enter my competition. I am going to be giving away a free code to F1 Manager tonight, by the way. Prince saying Verstappen, Hamilton, Alonso is the 1, 2, 3. Lewis saying Max, Alonso, Hamilton. Peter saying Max, Fernando and Russell. I'm liking this. A bit of a mixture going around here. Philip saying Max, Lewis, Ocon. Anyone fancying Ocon to get his second podium of the year? We will see. What about the McLarens? Any McLaren fans in the chat? Maybe they didn't get to show their true pace here, but 2 cars through to Q3 was very solid. The giveaway I'll do in a post after this. I'm going to be giving away a free copy of F1 Manager 23. F1 working with the official distributor of F1 Manager. Very exciting. Even though I have panned the game a little bit, it's just a little bit awkward, but we roll with it. We move. Prince saying, actually, yeah, Ocon should be good. George saying, Lee and Connell, look at your boy, Stroll. Stroll in his home GP down in 13th place, but there was a lot of impeding going on. By the way, we might see the penalties come through very soon. They've had the opportunity to look at Carlos Sainz's issues for quite a long time now, so I'll let you know live now if we see a grid drop for Carlos Sainz. Remember, we saw Pierre Gasly get a grid drop in Barcelona for, ironically, I believe, impeding Carlos Sainz. So it's been the other way around here, hasn't it? Sunny saying Lewis, Max, Russell. Liam Stroll is the new Latifi. Keep your predictions coming in, by the way. Keep them coming in. Andrew Mercedes P1, P3 Max P2. Wow. Yeah, can Mercedes do some sort of undercut? Can they have a car out there acting as a blocker? We will see. Mr. 180 168 saying Max, Alonso, Russell. A lot of Alonso fans. Rob Craig coming in with Max, Hamilton, Alonso for tomorrow. Snowline saying radar isn't that accurate, but I hear loud thunder. Yeah, it's definitely. I think our radar showed the rain coming in though. And it's raining now. The question is going to be, is it going to be rain overnight? I mean, it's like a storm right now on the track. People absolutely soaking, got to make their way back to the buses, to the trains, to the cars, get back into Montreal, get back to their hotels, and get warm and dry for tomorrow. Nothing like being at the Formula 1. Fernando Alonso looks over the moon. He looks very happy. It's a happy, chirpy, bubbly Fernando Alonso. He's absolutely loving it. It's great to see. You've got to love Fernando, really. Isn't everyone kind of a Fernando fan? I say Fernando to Red Bull. Fernando to Red Bull, I'm calling it. Perez out, Fernando in. Welcome Dan Catty as well for the subscription. By the way, don't forget to do that subscription. Because I am going to be streaming the race again tomorrow. You really don't want to miss it if you enjoy that stream. Philip saying the helmet design worked. No, it didn't work out for Lance Stroll there. Unfortunately, George Verstappen, Hamilton, Alonso, Richard, Max, Alonso, Russell. Rich saying, are Stroll's cars much different to Alonso? Well, they did bring out different parts in Barcelona, but I think they're both running all the upgrades now, I believe. Chris, I would love Hamilton on the podium. Snowline likes Fernando a lot. Christopher says Alonso is a good spirit for the sport for sure. Yes, we're doing a watch along tomorrow, so just make sure you're subscribed, got notifications on. You don't want to miss it, basically. Dimitrian praise for Fernando to Red Bull. Fernando is all over it. He's absolutely loving it. Back on the podium stuff, getting the interviews. They're doing the photos now. Nico Hülkenberg. Can anyone... When was the last time Nico Hülkenberg and Fernando Alonso qualified in the top 3 together? Has that happened before? Is Hülkenberg in his... What was it? Renault days, maybe? Williams? Liam says Hulk going to pin Max to the wall in T1. Oh... Surely surely T1's on the inside here. Surely T1's on the inside. But what an insane qualifying it's been so far. We're still waiting to hear actually news of any penalty coming in for Carlos Sainz, and possibly, by the way, Lewis Hamilton. Let's not forget Lewis Hamilton with some impeding of Lance Stroll, and I think Lance Stroll then impeded someone else in Q3. So are we going to see some more grid drops? We'll find out. Rob says no amount of parts makes Stroll on Alonso's level. Okay. Lewis, if Max wins every race between now and Belgium, he can skip the last 10 races and still win. That would be crazy. We're witnessing something very special here from Max Verstappen and Red Bull this season. I don't think they have any concerns about appearing too dominant. After 7 years or so of Mercedes domination, I think Red Bull and Verstappen are very happy to just do whatever they can here because no one's that upset about it. Welcome to Kate, to Dina, and to Andrew as well. Chris, it makes me so happy when your streams are popping off the gaff. You are a true community legend. No, it's all thanks to you, everyone. It's all thanks to you coming by, engaging with the chat. Engaging with the qualifying all lets us have a good time. I think there's going to be some penalties here. I really, really, really do. I really do. Sean says, hi Kireth, I was at this race in 2007 when Lewis won his first. Nice. That was a great race, 2007. Lewis Hamilton was going for almost... Remember, Lewis Hamilton almost won the title in his rookie season. People forget that. Going head-to-head with Kimi Räikkönen. Was the last title that Ferrari won. Going to be a great race tomorrow. I agree. It's going to be mixed up. I mean, the question is, how quickly is Nico Hülkenberg going to filter back? How aggressive is Fernando Alonso going to be getting past Nico Hülkenberg? And are the Mercedes going to do some interesting strategy? And are we going to have some interesting penalties as well? Richard, yeah, Red Bull tried to sign Fernando a few times before. I think they should do it, just for the banter. Yeah, Kubic's bad crash in the BMW in 2007. Wasn't that in the Wall of Champions? I can't remember. Bouncing off that curb. But yeah, a lot of people thinking Verstappen's going to win this, obviously. But if there is going to be weather involved, anything can happen. Because Verstappen doesn't really have Perez close to him. I mean, the thing is about Red Bull is if they had both Red Bulls up there, then there might be some murmurings of, oh, they're too dominant. But because Perez keeps balling it up, maybe they've just sacrificed Perez. Maybe they are, like, nerfing his car. So no one could be like, well, Red Bull aren't dominant. It's just Max Verstappen's so good. Is this track in G7? No, it isn't, but it should be. But I have raced this track quite a lot in iRacing. Do we think there's going to be rain tomorrow? Interesting to think about, isn't it? Rain, potentially, would mix it up. Who else do we think? Well, the Ferraris... Carlos Sainz is almost certainly going to get a penalty. I'd be astonished if he doesn't. For the blocking on the back straight. You know, and some people saying I'm being a little bit too harsh on Carlos. Maybe I am, but in that case, I feel like his team shouldn't be, you know, hanging him out to dry there. And what is quite a dangerous part of the track as well. Like, he doesn't know whether to go left or go right. But I would say if you're waiting for a car there, just pull over to the right hand side. Keep it nice and slow on the inside, and by the time you get to the end of the circuit, you got to push. You got to go. You can't be on the last corner at a snail's pace. Something has gone very wrong for that to be the situation, frankly. And it seems to happen like way too many times. We have Community F1 race. Yeah, we should do. I just need to get my wheel angle a little bit nicer, and then we'll be back on the Logitech Direct Drive Pro. And some cool stuff coming up with Logitech this season as well. So, giveaways. Stay tuned. We've already given away one of these, and a G29. Yeah, the one with Alex Albon. That would have been a massive crash. Massive crash. I'm waiting to see some more footage so I can kind of let you know what happened. Sean says, Carlos, shaking my head. No excuse for that doesn't get it. Yeah, it's just very dangerous behaviour. Prince says, Carlos Sainz Sr. is calling the FIA as we speak to get the penalties annulled. Not sure about that, but yeah, maybe. Chris got DD Pro, very nice. Rob Craig, I'd consider the nerfing Perez to make the car appear less dominant. Honestly, it could happen. They don't want the FIA looking around and making some rule changes, do they? Is it raining right now? I don't know. They seem to think maybe yes, maybe not in the pit lane. But I really want to have a look here at Carlos Sainz and Ferrari and what on earth was going on. We saw it all the way through FP1, FP2, but that was time to work it out, really, and come up with a better system of when to pull over. So, for whatever reason, they were not able to work that out and get it done. Can't see any penalties being applied so far. And by the way, I just want to point out here, you can see the track evolution by the top 9 drivers. Obviously, Alex Albon was there as well, but didn't set lap time. The top 9 drivers probably wouldn't have made it through into Q2 even. But that's the track just getting wetter. Could the car nerfing really be real? I don't know. It depends how big Sergio Perez's contract is. I mean, there wouldn't be anything illegal. It wouldn't be like a Crashgate thing. But if Perez has agreed to, like, okay, I'll have a slower car, just so we don't appear so dominant, because we can just get Max to win easy. There's a lot of stuff behind the scenes in Formula 1 that is not very fair. It's all about marketing, really. Look, we know that Mercedes ran their car. Mercedes had a car that was just obscenely quick, and they just turned it down massively. Their championships were guaranteed, essentially. Welcome to Jane Marco as well, joining the channel. Good to see you. Still waiting here to see if we're going to get any penalty applications that ironically might push Charles Leclerc into like P9 or something like that. We will see.
PSC ending.
Pierre Gasly as well was absolutely furious, storming down the pit lane to see Carlos Sainz. Not sure how that ended. But Pierre Gasly, you know, if you look at Esteban Ocon's up in P6, Pierre Gasly must be furious. Here, Peter? Does anyone think that could be a thing, nerfing the Perez car? It's possible. It's possible, right? Sean, I don't see any playing with Sergio's car. However, when the car is starting from Max, yeah, maybe they're just whatever Sergio. Sorry. Oh, we finished the FP thing here. Maybe whatever you know, Sergio, Max wants on the car, they just do, and so Sergio has to deal with it. That could be a thing. Could be a thing. Wow, sorry, yeah, Sergio. Let me just confirm that, because yeah, he missed Q3 in Spain, but he also binned it at Saint-Devote in Monaco. It's the third race in a row that Perez has not gone through into Q3. No worries, Peter. Passive nerfing. Interview with Perez now. He looks furious. It looks like he's absolutely angry inside at something. But again, how on earth can that Red Bull... Either the Red Bull is... Look, there's only a few things that can be the case. Either the Red Bull is really quick and Sergio Perez is driving it very badly, or the Red Bull is actually not that quick and Max Verstappen is really driving it. So the best argument for saying that Max Verstappen is by far the fastest driver in Formula 1 is Sergio Perez. Right? That's how it works. You'd imagine Checo would have learned to set up a car regardless of who it's built for. Maybe. Let's get some stuff in the background here. Just bear with me.
After a day of free practice yesterday, we wrap up with a third and final session before moving on.
Remember, Sergio Perez, he has won 2 races this year, and he did come back, didn't he? Did he finish P3 or P2 in Spain? I can't remember, but a very strong race in Spain. He's very good on making the tyres last, but
drivers will need to outdo one another if they're to climb their way.
That's great. Thanks, Crofty. Get some more of that in the background.
Radio check.
But you have to say, if you're Red Bull, do you really want to keep Sergio Perez? And we said it quite harshly in Monaco, I think. We said, what is right now? What is the point of Sergio Perez? Bluntly. Jules saying Perez has never dominated a teammate. P4 in Spain, was it? Oh, I thought he managed to get back up. But yeah, I forget. It's 2 Mercedes on the podium, wasn't it? So I was giving him a bit more credit there than maybe he didn't. Yeah, so Sean saying in the wet it's even worse for Sergio, who likes an oversteering to neutral car. Maybe. Chris, but just for the fact they have an illegally tuned, while just having another driver less tuned one. I don't think Max's car is illegally good. Chris saying, fix your damn wheel, bro. Look, we're going to be back for the race tomorrow, so I'm just having so much fun doing the F1 races. I would love to just do, like, is there IndyCar tonight as well? We could just do IndyCar, but then I could do this anywhere. I could do it in a place that's not super hot. I mean, that sounds very appealing to me. Just not sweating. I have to change my shirt after every stream. There's too much sweat involved here. Nico Hulkenberg though, P2. Look, okay, I want to ask a serious question. What is the highest realistic position Nico Hulkenberg can expect to finish this race in? Be real with me. Be realistic. What do we think? Max not sharing his data. Maybe. I think it's pretty obvious that Max calls the shots, doesn't he, in Red Bull? Christopher saying P2, George saying P12. P20, P7. Look, I said serious answers, chat. Chris P6, ATP P7. So I think there's no chance Hulkenberg is going to finish in a fair race ahead of the Mercedes and Alonso and Ocon. So I think the highest he can, and Perez and Sainz defending. I think Hulkenberg would do great to finish in the points. Am I being too harsh here? Yeah, Snowline saying within top 10s he's lucky. Dimit Plan saying P7. Oh, there was a Power and Dixon. Will Power and Scott Dixon coming together nice. Look, we saw with the McLaren just not being set up for Daniel Ricciardo that this sort of stuff can happen like that. So maybe Pep, but then do they want to get a driver in who has a similar racing style to Max, develop him up? Because what is the point right now of having Sergio Perez in that car? Who would they put in that car? Yuki Tsunoda? Well, he's not exactly second in the world on light, or nor is De Vries. I tell you who you put in. You put in Daniel Ricciardo. If you're Daniel Ricciardo right now, it's another great, beautiful day for you. Looking at... Maybe Daniel Ricciardo is actually Perez's race engineer at the moment. He's just giving terrible strategy advice. Yeah, Sergio, let's do Q3 on the hard tyre, please. George saying Danny Rick. Adu saying get Ricciardo in it. So, yeah. I don't know what the odds are. Do we know what the odds are of Daniel Ricciardo actually getting in that Red Bull before the end of the season? Or surely, I've said this before on this channel, surely if you're Red Bull, what you actually do is you do a free practice on a Friday where you put Perez in for FP1 and you put Ricciardo in for FP2. Maybe at Silverstone or somewhere, right? And then you kind of just see, like, if Ricciardo's faster, you're like, well, Ricciardo's actually faster. No worries, Carl, good to have you along. Rankin says Vettel, bring Vettel back, my word. The comeback of Vettel to Red Bull. Wouldn't that be a story? We saw Alonso having a great time as a bit of an elder statesman in F1. Yes, maybe. Maybe. Chris saying, yeah, Perez had 2 wins this year. Yes, he has. Perez has had 2 wins. Important not to knock him that much, but he looks like he's struggling to maintain that pace, to put it very kindly for Sergio, and it might be coming to the fore in qualifying. But I just don't know if Sergio is approaching qualifying trying to match Max Verstappen, as opposed to just really getting through the qualifying sessions, if you know what I mean. Because they should have a lot of margin in that car. A lot of margin. Snowline likes Ricciardo, but that's unlikely to transpire. I think it is well, what about my free practice situation? Snowline's never been that impressed with Perez. Chris saying he's aggressive yet calculated in an alien way. Is that Max Verstappen? Let's be honest, are we happy to say all of the drivers here are aliens? If you're in Formula 1? Even Logan Sargent? Mark says, Snowline, have you not seen 2021 Abu Dhabi? I'm not a Perez fan, but that was some of the best driving I've ever seen. Sergio Perez won Max Verstappen that race, let's not forget, by holding up Lewis Hamilton. That's a lesser-known, lesser-remembered story of Abu Dhabi 2021, isn't it? The new room is Norris Rebel. Should we start it? We could start on Twitter. We've got 300 people watching. If I post it and everyone liked it, we just start this rumour, and maybe it would happen. Maybe Lando's management would go to Red Bull and be like, you interested? And they'll be like, oh, well, now you're here, we'll have a chat. Sean saying Sergio is still second in points. Yeah, I guess Sergio can't do any better on the points front, can he? By the way, are we going to see a penalty applied for Carlos Sainz? Aaron saying Ricciardo will do a test after the British GP. Okay. Sky with Günther Steiner. Obviously, the car was in flames yesterday. Very unusual flames. But now Haas, very, very, very happy. I chatted with Günther Steiner last year. He's a fun guy. Yeah, we'll see about Norris. I've raced Norris online in F1, actually. There's a video on my channel. Racing Lando Norris. Which was quite fun. Quite fun. I actually gave him a bump draft. Do they drug test drivers? Yes, they do. They do drug testing of drivers. I would say drugs probably not that prevalent. I'm surprised there's not more drugs issues in football, to be honest. You think drugs that allow you to basically recover quicker would be very advantageous in a football season where you're playing every 3 days or something. Vlack is ready for it. See you, Sean. We'll see you tomorrow. I'm not sure that Danica Patrick and Natalie Pinkham really like each other. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think Jensen just sort of gets along with everyone. Just reading body language here. The body language between Natalie Pinkham and Danica Patrick is Bit frosty. Don't know. Let me know what you think. Prince, I raced Norris once. It was my friend Jack Norris. Lando's brother's quite cool. Lando's brother makes simulators. Got a video on the channel where we went down with Nathan, and Nathan won Lando Norris's race helmet, signed race helmet. Actual not even a replica, I think his actual one, from a competition that Lando's brother was doing on his cool performance sim rigs. Amphetamines. I don't know too much about drugs, to be honest. Footballers have a suspiciously many deaths by heart failure. Is it that? But there's a lot of football matches as well. Andrew looking forward to Seb taking his old Red Bull around Northside. Yeah, is that happening? I saw Max wanted to do it. Snow saying Rosberg seems to loathe Max Verstappen. Just jealous, frankly. It's just jealousy. There's no other way to explain it. That's what it is. But yeah, Nico Hulkenberg in second, Kevin Magnussen in 14th. So, but it's been a difficult session. That's why I think if you're Mercedes, you're happy that both of your drivers are up there, P4 and P5. I think Mercedes might be the happiest team here. I really do. See, Philip? Vettel will drive in Germany. Prince says they're all raised in such a hyper-athlete environment. Yeah, we're talking about maybe some sort of doping, I don't know. But that would be such a... There's way more brand involved in F1. So if an F1 team, one of their drivers is caught doping, it's possibly terminal for that brand in F1. It's really bad. I don't know if it's ever happened before. Has any driver ever failed a drug test before? Apart from David Coulthard after Monaco GPs. Oh, Max not allowed by Red Bull. Do they think Max would just drive too fast or something? Jack saying McLaren have to be appeased. I think McLaren will be okay. I think McLaren will be thinking they could have done a lot better. Remember, Piastri binned it. So I think a missed opportunity from McLaren. But, you know, yeah, it could have been a lot worse. It's clearly a qualifying where things could have been a lot worse for a lot of the teams, isn't it? That's the reality. Is there a drug that makes your timing more accurate? There might be a drug that makes you more sort of alert. But these drivers are all at the pinnacle of what is capable anyway, I think. So, but I don't know. When you compare it with stuff like cycling, the cycling really is about it's really about recovery and endurance, isn't it? F1's not really about endurance in the same way. It's a lot more mental, I think. It obviously is very physical. Racing is very physical. But I think once you've reached that baseline fitness, it's more about your technical and mental ability. Andrew saying Carlos would fail. Yeah, Carlos, what sort of drugs have you been taking on that back straight? Carlos drinking and driving. Still no news on the penalties, by the way. I'm keeping an eye out. Yeah, I think McLaren... missed opportunity for McLaren a little bit. Especially Norris coming after a very good qualifying in Barcelona. They're comparing the lap times now. Nico Hulkenberg, yeah, just getting ahead of Alonso there. So very, very, very small margins. Very small margins. Do you think any streamers do doping? Like, to have better endurance, do longer streams? Do you think there's like... Because streaming is not... There's no drugs body for streaming. You don't have to get drug tested after you stream. Maybe in the future. Maybe this will all be licensed. Maybe we'll look back and we'll be like, do you remember when we just used to stream F1 like in a completely unregulated way? Like, I was not regulated. I could just turn on the stream and like... How many people have... And 13,000 people have watched. 13,000, that's like your town. I'll just keep looking, chat, and see if we get any indication of any penalties here. Richard comes in and says Formula 1. Formula 1. Yeah, maybe in the future you have to be licensed by Formula 1 to stream about Formula 1. But I have to say, a big high five, everyone. Another stream where we didn't get taken down. Can we get some high fives in the chat for that, please? Because that's a big job. We'll get some of the emojis out. Another qualifying stream not taken down. Gone too many. Ah! I've gone to inspect mode. I made a mess of that. Yeah, 13,000 people have watched this stream. Is that more than people's towns? Look at that. Snowline's happy. Black is happy as well. Edward Munch, the stream. What's Edward Munch? Chris is happy. Chris is mixing up the waves and the claps there. Sneaked in a few claps. Very nice. They're doing some comparisons of time here, but we want to see the FIA regulations, because frankly, if they don't issue a penalty, then if you're Pierre Gasly, you're like, well, what on earth needs to happen for someone to get a penalty? And why was I penalised in Spain? Ferrari were just absolute classic Ferrari strat. Really, this is quintessential Ferrari. The screen, the photo, the painting. Mechanically recovered plant hot dogs. Yeah, maybe we'll have hot dogs on stream tomorrow. Has everyone seen my post about hot dogs? I don't know why your choice of hot dogs is either 99p, 99 cents, or £6. So you either get $6 hot dogs or you get 99-cent hot dogs. It puts me off buying either, to be honest. A little bit. Right, chat. What I'm going to do now... What's my favourite Group 3 car? Probably the Peugeot, because I have the Peugeot. That is my real-life car. So, it would be kind of weird not to like my car in Gran Turismo. What I'm going to do, chat, this is the stream for tomorrow. That stream for tomorrow. So you know the drill. Bear with me. Currently it's sitting there with 0 viewers waiting and 0 likes. So what we're going to do, chat, we're going to end the stream here. It's been great today. FP3 and qualifying. 2 streams. We're going to be back tomorrow. There's the link for the stream tomorrow. So all you got to do is go over there, hit a like button, let me know in the comments as well. That's going to go live for the race tomorrow, and we're going to watch the whole race at Canada, maybe with some very interesting weather. So make sure to smash this link everywhere. Oh, Car used to run a hot dog. Very nice. Would be cool to see some people in that stream there. So I'm going to end the stream here. Everyone's been great. 206 people watching. Absolutely insane. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. But thank you so much for joining us today. It's been mega. Really, really, really enjoyed it following that quali session. Again, bit of a surprise there in quali with Nico Hulkenberg coming in PT. So I'm going to end the stream here. Normally it ends halfway through me saying a sentence, apparently. And we'll head on over to that next stream. Drop the likes, drop the reminders. And we'll be here again tomorrow. I will see you.